sun is shining. The birds are chirping. It's as hot as a motherfucker out there. And it's Saturday. You know what that means. We're live. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms. And I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the channel on YouTube.com. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind. This is the official Lightning Flash update for Saturday, May 22nd, 2021. I'm already out of breath. It's about 90 degrees outside. We're approaching summer very, very quickly, my friends. Very, very, very quickly. Let's see where the posse's at. We got Peanuts. We got David Maniscalco. We got my number one mod, DD. We got Adam Carl. We got Kevin Fiola. So, we got some people here in the chat. We already got 12 likes. I like it. I really, really like it. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you joining me here on the channel as I'm already out of breath. But let me tell you something. We're going to have a good time. I'm doing all right, Kevin Fiola. Thank you very much. I'm actually a newly graduated college student. Recently just graduated on Monday, and now I am headed out into the workforce. I'm going to get me a nice full-time job, make some big bucks. You already know how it is. I actually got some interviews coming up within the next week. So, wish me luck there, ladies and gents. But we are live indeed. We are 3 minutes already into the live stream, and we are getting set for a big weekend next weekend, Double or Nothing 2021 weekend. Thank you very much, Danielle. We have a lot of material this week to go over. The news this week was absolutely fucking stacked, and a lot of material happened on the weekly shows. We are going to go over everything in detail for sure. We are going to go over everything in detail. There is a lot of material to dissect, a lot of material to go over, and things are just starting to heat up, I'm telling you. And that's not just because summer is already here. It's not just because summer's here, all right? So, here's what I want. I want everyone, everybody. Yeah, you already know. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate all your support. Definitely means more than you can imagine, but we got a lot of material to dissect, including where Keith Lee has been. We're also going to dissect 5 weekly shows. We got a lot of material that happened this week on the weekly shows. Of course, AEW is building towards Double or Nothing. WWE is now building towards Hell in a Cell. Tell me if the mic is coming in good. I believe it is coming in just fine, but I just want to make sure no technical difficulties are occurring as we move on with the stream. We got a lot of material to go over, like I've been stating, and we're not going to waste any time. Ladies and gents. So, first things first, if you haven't already done so, you got to make sure that you follow me on the Twitter sticks. Of course, at HistoryMaker DJS, you'll figure out why I am the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind if you will go and follow me on Twitter. Of course, follow me on Instagram as well at the DJ Storms. And of course, add me on Facebook as well for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all the links are in the description, as well as the link for the rewind for WrestleMania Backlash. If you missed it, if you missed the rewind for WrestleMania Backlash, please go and check that out. The link is, of course, in the description. The link is, of course, in the description, where I went over everything that took place on Sunday, May 16th, 2021. We actually got a fairly good WrestleMania Backlash. I'm actually surprised it turned out as good as it did. Everything outside of The Miz and Damian Priest was definitely something to invest your time in. We got a fairly decent wrestling show, so it was not a waste of 3 hours on Sunday, May 16th. If you would like to go and check that out, that link is in the description. We got a lot of material going down next week. Next week's a big week in terms of brand work. Of course, on Wednesday, we got the AEW Double or Nothing 2021 roundtable discussion. Of course, that is, of course, on the Big Fight Feel. That is on the Big Fight Feel YouTube channel. My man Joseph Conlon, he has invited me to the roundabout table with, of course, Wesley Williams, who I had on the rundown for Double or not Double or Nothing, All Out actually. That was in 2020. And Matt Moody, who, of course, I had on the rundown for NXT TakeOver 31 and NXT TakeOver War Games. So, if you want to, please make sure you follow Joseph Conlon at Conlon, CONLIN_Joseph, and subscribe to Big Fight Feel, of course, Big Fight Feel. Follow Joseph Conlon and subscribe to him if you would like to see the roundtable discussion. That is going to be on Wednesday night. Thursday at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, of course, I got a little special appearance. I'm going to be appearing on Top Rope Squishy's YouTube channel. If you remember, I had Top Rope Squishy on the channel all the way back in December for the rundown for Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2020, the final pay-per-view of the year. I loved working with her. She is an absolute sweetheart. She is fantastic at what she does. She is growing her own little brand on the Top Rope Squishy brand herself, and I am going to be appearing on her channel now, where we're going to be predicting Double or Nothing. And then on Friday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I got a very special rundown, because I'm going to do my own predictions right here on the channel. The rundown for AEW Double or Nothing 2021 will feature not one, but two guests. That's right, Habiki TMD, whom I've collaborated with numerous times throughout the course of this year. He's coming back to the channel. And on top of that, the man who invited me on Hack 'em Up podcast, where I reviewed Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, Kyle Deemer. He is coming on my channel for the first time ever. So for the first time ever, there will be not one, but two guests on the rundown for Double or Nothing. So you might want to go and tell everyone about that. And speaking of which, considering that we are almost 10 minutes into the stream, please make sure you have hit that like button. So far, we got 13 likes. I would like to get to more than 13 likes. I would like to get to at least 30. Last couple videos have been slacking a little bit. YouTube, I actually called out YouTube. And they said they're trying to work on what's been going on with some sub counts going down, and some subscribers have been removed. A lot of my subscribers have been removed, so I don't know what's going on there. I went from around 21,005 to now 2,094, I believe. I'm not sure what's going on, But YouTube said that they're working on fixing that. Hopefully they fix that sooner rather than later. I would like to get to at least 30 likes, I would say. They've also purged some likes, so hopefully YouTube sorts that shit out because it is really, really getting on my fucking nerves. It is really getting on my fucking nerves. So please, if you can, notify as many people as possible. I would like to get to at least 30 likes. Share it out on all platforms, social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and Pinterest. Make sure everyone knows that DJ Storms is live on YouTube because I would like to get to at least 30 likes here on the Lightning Flash update as we have a lot to go over. So I would like some more likes. If you can do your job, please make sure you share it out. Make sure everyone knows DJ Storms is live. I'm talking about your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters, your sons, your daughters, your aunts, your uncles, your grandmothers, your grandfathers. First, second, third, 4, 5th, 6th, 7th cousins, twice removed, dogs, cats, and your guinea pigs, of course. Danielle knows it's all about guinea pigs, man. It is all about the guinea pigs because guinea pigs, I have heard numerous amounts of times that the guinea pigs, when they are exposed to DJ Storms, man, they are said to live long, happy, healthy, fruitful lives. Kevin Fiola knows. He knows about the guinea pigs. If you want your guinea pigs' hearts, if you want their hearts to be as healthy as possible, you got to make sure that those guinea pigs are exposed to DJ Storms. Everybody wants a piece of DJ Storms, especially those guinea pigs. You already know. Hit the subscribe button as well. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to expand. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button when you come on in. And, of course, you hit the notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is, of course, the best time to be on YouTube. The only time you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combo. Beautiful mustache right here. Kevin Fiola over here is talking about parrots. He's talking about parrots. Parrots. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. So, enough of the self-brand promotion and advertisements. We are going to get straight into the matches. Not the matches, actually. We're going to get straight into the news, rumors, and reports. And we got a lot of reports to dissect, including we got Earl Cole, shout out to him. Earl Cole, he actually sent me a report, shout out to him. I'm pretty sure we'll see Earl Cole in here a little bit later on, but Earl Cole, shout out to him. He sent me a report from Brian Alvarez. He sent me a report from Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and he discussed the current situation with the SmackDown Women's Championship, and he presumed that WWE could be going with a hair versus hair match stipulation for Bianca Belair and Bayley based on what happened at Backlash and the fact that Bayley was screaming to the commentators, specifically Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, that Bianca Belair cheated by using her braid. Now, I want to say I don't necessarily mind the feud continuing, but at the same point in time, I really don't understand why a hair versus hair match stipulation is even necessary. If we're going to be quite honest here, hair versus hair matches are perhaps one of the most outdated wrestling stipulations in today's modern wrestling era. That and lumberjack matches. We got lumberjack matches, we got hair versus hair matches, we got pro wrestling weddings, we got the typical route of beating the champion in a non-title match in order to get a title shot. Shit like that, all that shit is outdated. And on top of that, I don't think people really understand how this is making Bianca and Bayley really look. This is a championship title feud. This is a championship title feud. Right? A championship title feud. A championship title feud between two of the best women's wrestlers in the world right now. And the main focus is Bianca's hair. The main focus is hair. Whether Bianca loses and she gets her ponytail snipped, which I actually don't expect to be. I expect Bayley to lose, and Bayley's going to get her hair shaved off. But the main focus is Bianca's braid, and not the SmackDown Women's Championship. Oh, Bianca's a criminal because she used a braid. She used a braid, blah, 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 blah. I mean, can you really be that uncreative? And this is what I've been saying about the women's division. It's almost like WWE's purposely trying to sabotage the women's division. Bianca Belair does not feel like Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair feels ordinary. Bianca Belair feels ordinary. Bianca Belair feels generic. And Bianca Belair does not feel special whatsoever. She's going out there and she's being forced to cut these generic fucking promos. I really don't understand. And Bayley now, she's making the focus of the feud Bianca's hair instead of the SmackDown Women's Championship? That's the extent of the feud. That's the extent of creativity that you have. You're making the feud about someone else's hair. You're never going to see this in NXT. You never see a fucking hair versus hair match in NXT. The last hair versus hair match that we've seen was when Enzo took on Sylvester Lefort in NXT, and that was when NXT was just coming up through the rankings and becoming the best thing in professional wrestling. So I don't really understand why. I really don't understand why we are on the verge of possibly getting a hair versus hair match. I really don't understand. But that's apparently what's going on with Bianca and Bayley, courtesy of Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Earl Cole sent me that one, so shout out to him. Wrestling Inc. and Dave Meltzer both reported that there were two major injuries coming out of WrestleMania Backlash. Wrestling Inc. reported that Braun Strowman suffered broken ribs. Now, I'm not really sure where he suffered the broken ribs. I have a theory. He probably suffered them either when he came diving off the apron, and he landed pretty hard on the floor. I'm not really sure where he landed. I'm not sure if he landed on his side. I'm not sure if he landed on his back or his stomach. I'll have to go back and rewatch it. But he did land pretty hard there. That could have been where he may have broken a rib. And if he finished the match, then good on Braun Strowman. That was beast of him. It's either that or he probably broke his ribs when Bobby Lashley speared him to end the match. That's a possibility. But Braun Strowman suffered broken ribs, while Dave Meltzer reported that The Miz suffered a knee injury. Word going around is that it's a torn ACL, although the severity of the injury has not yet been disclosed. So they do not know whether it is a partial tear or a full tear. Now, if it is a full tear, that means that he will be out for 9 solid months. Now, I would never wish injury upon anyone. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. I don't want to see anyone injured. I don't want to see anyone go through an injury such as broken ribs or torn ACL or any injury specifically. I would not wish injury upon my worst enemy, and I do wish Braun Strowman and The Miz a speedy recovery. I'm pretty sure Braun Strowman will recover just fine from broken ribs. As far as The Miz goes, I would like to hope that it is just a partial tear, so that way he'll probably be out for maybe 5 months as opposed to 9 months as if it's a full tear. But if I'm going to be quite honest, you're not going to see a single tear shed from me over the fact that we're not going to see these two on television. I would never wish injury upon anyone, and I wish them a speedy recovery, but in no way, shape, or form, should we be sad, or should anyone be sad, really. I don't really understand why anyone would be sad about The Miz and Braun Strowman off of television. The Miz and Braun Strowman have been two of the worst acts in all of WWE, with The Miz perhaps being the worst act in the wrestling industry. Braun Strowman has been a guy that was once so great. He was once so great. He was actually perhaps the best thing in all of WWE at one point. And then all of a sudden, after he failed to cash in his Money in the Bank contract on Roman Reigns back at Hell in a Cell of 2018, it's almost like everything just went downhill. It's almost like he forgot how to wrestle, and of course his booking didn't help. Part of it is his booking, because WWE didn't strike when the iron was hot. And the other part is on him. Because he legitimately refused to get better. I'm not even sure what happened. I'm not sure if it was on him. I'm not sure if he just became lazy, but it's almost just like he just completely forgot how to fucking wrestle. And Braun Strowman, he became undoubtedly the worst act on television at one point. It was the same shit over and over again with Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman in the last 3 years has only had 2 good matches. Number one was obviously what happened this past Sunday at WrestleMania Backlash with Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. And then the other one was the match with Seth Rollins all the way back at Clash of Champions of 2019, I believe it was. Yes, in September of 2019, Clash of Champions. Those were the only 2 good matches that Braun Strowman has had in the last 3 years. Outside of that, everything that Braun Strowman has done has been complete shit. It's been the same bullshit over and over again with Braun Strowman. He has shown no progression. He's actually shown regression. So Braun Strowman off of television, you're not really going to hear a single complaint out of me that Braun Strowman's not going to be on television. Same thing with The Miz. The Miz has been one of the worst acts, if not the worst act on WWE television for the longest time now. The Miz, his career has been fucking dead for almost 3 years now. After that feud with Daniel Bryan towards the end of 2018, everything that The Miz did completely went to shit. Nothing that The Miz did from that moment on meant anything. He had a shit babyface run throughout 2019. Then they paired him with John Morrison, who came back, and they won the tag team titles. And then after they lost the tag team titles, they became 2 bad comedy acts that have made everything that they're in worse. They became 2 bad comedy acts doing the same shit every single week, doing hey, hey, ho, ho, cutting generic, shitty, heelish comedy promos. Miz won the Money in the Bank contract from fucking Otis, and then he became the WWE champion and then lost it to Bobby Lashley in 5 minutes, and then he went into WrestleMania and lost to fucking Bad Bunny. I don't understand how anyone finds any value in The Miz, and if you do find value in The Miz in the last 3 years, you may be a complete fucking idiot. You may be a legitimate retard, and you may want to check yourself into a mental institution. Nothing that The Miz has done in the last 3 years, same thing with Braun Strowman, has resonated. Matter of fact, The Miz and Braun Strowman made the show worse. I mean, it's not like Monday Night Raw is any better without them. Monday Night Raw still sucks. Monday Night Raw sucks no matter who's on the show, no matter who's off the show. But Miz and Morrison and Braun Strowman, those 2 individuals, those 2 acts made the show 10 times worse. So listen, I would never wish injury upon anyone. I wish Braun Strowman and The Miz a speedy recovery, but you're not going to see a tear shed from me that they're not going to be on television. Matter of fact, the longer that they're off of television, not that they're injured, I would just say the longer that they're off of television and the longer that we don't see them, the better. especially after what we saw at WrestleMania Backlash, which I'm going to get to in a minute. I got a report on Diamond Mine. Mike Johnson, a PW Insider, provided an update on Diamond Mine. Now, he stated, and I quote, Diamond Mine is more likely some sort of offshoot brand or concept to introduce new talent. We know that they've been trying to develop a new brand for the NXT division. This could be it. End quote. Now, I did not think of this. I know that there's been some rumors that WWE may be looking to partner with MLW. I know there's been some rumors going around that we could very well see a new brand like NXT Evolve. They could be partnering with Evolve, and they could be looking to bring up some new talent and rebuild talent before they're NXT ready. That could be what we could be looking at. But I actually had it in my mind that Diamond Mine may have been Parker Bodor. And I'm actually still going with that. I would make Diamond Mine Parker Bodor specifically because of the fact that Parker Bodor, he's the only one with the size to take on Karrion Kross. Now, you're going to have to develop a character for him. You're going to have to see how he progresses in the ring. You're going to have to see what he can do as far as an in-ring perspective before you can get to a Karrion Kross and you can get into a main event match with a guy like that for the NXT Championship. That's something that's going to come over time. But I would not go forth with another NXT brand for the NXT division. That could probably be a network show that you can introduce at a later date, but I would get Parker Bodor on television. I mean, if he's not television ready, then I guess you can continue building him up. But I would absolutely make Diamond Mine Parker Bodor. Parker Bodor, he's got a great fucking look. He's like Brock Lesnar, but with more tattoos. Parker Bodor has a great look. Now, if he matches that look with equal wrestling ability and character work, like Karrion Kross has been doing, then we could have your new NXT champion right there. We'll see. But Mike Johnson of PW Insider is reporting that Diamond Mine is more likely some sort of offshoot brand or concept to introduce new talent. I'm not sure if that would be it, considering how they've really showcased Diamond Mine. It really seems as though Diamond Mine is a debuting superstar or faction. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and find out, but that's what Mike Johnson is reporting, if anyone is wondering on what's going on with Diamond Mine. Of course, you can catch Diamond Mine and the promo packages that they've been doing on NXT television on Tuesdays. Mike Johnson, a PW Insider, he also commented on Keith Lee and his absence. He also commented on Keith Lee and his absence. Now, I have been waiting a week to talk about this. This shit is extremely, extremely frustrating beyond belief. You actually have no idea. So Keith Lee, he's been out of action. He's been out of action for 3 months now. Keith Lee and his absence. Mike Johnson stated, and I quote, I have never been able to get a full answer on what happened to him. I have been led to believe it's more of a creative thing than an injury thing. You don't say! You don't say, Mr. Johnson! And they just, for whatever reason, I don't know why, I don't know what the full story is, whether he just fell foul of Vince McMahon somehow, or there is something going on that they're keeping close to the vest, which is always possible. Whoever is close to him, who knows the deal, they're not talking. End quote. Dave Meltzer also followed up on Mike Johnson's report. He stated the following on Keith Lee, and I quote, "I don't know anything that's going on with Keith Lee. He's okay, but obviously he's not being used. I don't know what the full story is." End quote. What have I been saying for the last 3 months? What have I been saying for the last 3 months? And now this came out. I was saying it before any of these dirt sheets, whether it be Johnson or Alvarez or Meltzer or Sean Ross or whoever. I was saying this for months, and I got no inside sources. I got no connections within the WWE. I got no personal insiders. I don't know anyone who works in the WWE personally. I got no connections or sources whatsoever, but yet I was saying this long before this shit came out. Keith Lee has been gone since February 8th on Monday Night Raw. We are now sitting on May 22nd, 2021, and Keith Lee still has not resurfaced. And on top of that, if there was a legitimate injury to Keith Lee, don't you think that specifics would have been disclosed by now by somebody, whether it be Meltzer or Alvarez or Sean Ross Sapp or Ringside News or PW Insider or Sports Illustrated or Ryan Satin or WWE themselves? Don't you think they would have fucking said something? They would have disclosed some sort of specifics on how long Keith Lee may be out, what is the extent of the injury, what is the severity of the injury. Don't you think that something specific would have came out over the course of the last 3 fucking months to give us an idea on when Keith Lee might be back? But no, nothing's been said. Nothing's been said. They just said, oh, it's an injury. He's been out for 3 fucking months. That is a considerable amount of fucking time to be out. That's a considerable amount of fucking time to be out, so you would think that some specifics would have been let out as to why he's been out this long. Why is it that no one has been able to specify why Keith Lee's been out this long? And now, Mike Johnson says it's more of a creative thing than an injury thing. It's always been a creative thing. Why is Keith Lee out? Because Vince McMahon gave up on him. Because Vince McMahon just didn't see anything in him, because he fell foul of Vince McMahon. Here's something that a lot of people need to realize, and this doesn't just have to do with the wrestling business, this has to do with any business, whether it be an accounting business, a nursing business, a landscaping business, a construction business, a restaurant business, any business in this world, the individual at the top, whether you want to admit it or not, the individual at the top is not always right. The individual at the top, his or her word is not gospel. Some businesses treat their bosses, the individual at the top, as if they can do no wrong. That's not how a business is to be run. That's not the type of individual that you want at the top. Keith Lee has been one of the most wildly praised wrestlers on the planet for God knows how long now. Everyone has praised Keith Lee up and down the wrestling community. Fans, executives, wrestlers, everyone has praised Keith Lee. Everyone's praised Keith Lee, but all because one guy, all because one man, all because one individual says that, oh, I don't see anything in him, then that means, he's got nothing. I'm here to tell you that if everyone is praising an individual, except for one individual, that one individual, no matter what position of power that individual may have, that individual is just simply out of fucking touch. Everyone else is not the problem. The individual that they're praising isn't the problem. You're the fucking problem. But Vince McMahon won't admit that he's the problem. No one that's close to Vince McMahon will admit that he's the problem. Johnny Laurinaitis, we got John Laurinaitis. My name's Mr. John Laurinaitis. I am the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations. Vince McMahon is an excellent individual, and he fights for everyone in the good name of people power. You're not going to hear him tell you that Vince McMahon's out of touch. You're not going to hear Kevin Dunn with teeth as long as the fucking George Washington Bridge. You're not going to hear him tell you that Vince McMahon's out of touch. You're not going to hear Bruce Pritchard eating fucking 20 White Castle sliders. You're not going to hear him telling you that Vince McMahon's out of touch. You're not going to hear Vince McMahon tell you that he's out of touch. What worked back then does not work now. If Vince McMahon saw, I highly doubt that he did, but if he saw what Keith Lee did with Dominik Dijakovic at NXT TakeOver Portland, that's all you need to watch. Keith Lee put on a match with Dominik Dijakovic that superseded the last 5 WrestleMania main events. WrestleMania 32, WrestleMania 33, WrestleMania 34, WrestleMania 35, and WrestleMania 36. All of those matches combined did not even come close to the match that Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic put on at TakeOver Portland. And that was a few weeks before the pandemic started. That was when fans were still in attendance. That was when people were jam-packed into the arena, and NXT was still the hottest thing in the wrestling industry. My throat's already fucking sore. I am fucking pissed right now. How you don't see anything in Keith Lee after everything that Keith Lee has done in NXT, the fact that Keith Lee was pushed to the moon in fucking NXT, and the fact that he was given both the NXT and the NXT North American Championship simultaneously, even though that may have been just a move to counter-program AEW, that was still a history-making moment that they chose him to make. They chose him out of everyone. They could have easily chosen an Adam Cole, a Johnny Gargano, Finn Balor, Tommaso Ciampa. They could have chosen anyone. Karrion Kross, they could have chosen, but they chose Keith Lee. Out of everyone, they chose Keith Lee. That goes to show you how much Keith Lee has in terms of potential. That goes to show you how good Keith Lee is in terms of an in-ring perspective. That goes to show you how good Keith Lee is in terms of a worker, in terms of a character, in terms of someone that you can invest in long-term. Keith Lee could easily be in top contention to beat Roman Reigns when the time is right for the Universal Championship. But no. Keith Lee fell foul of Vince McMahon, all because Vince McMahon doesn't see anything in Keith Lee. All the more reason why Vince McMahon needs to be removed immediately. But that ain't happening anytime soon. For all we know, Vince McMahon's going to be living until he's 115 years old in a fucking hospice, sipping his meals through a straw, still running Monday Night Raw and SmackDown on Fox. Keith Lee was never injured. The writing was on the wall. The moment that Keith Lee made his debut on the main roster. The writing was on the fucking wall. It was only a matter of time before Vince McMahon just fucking gave up on him. He made his debut, and then 6 months later, he's off of television completely. Little by little, they stripped Keith Lee of everything that made him Keith Lee. They took away his entrance music. They took away his attire. They put him in a singlet. They had him lose to Miz and Morrison. They took him off of television after Bobby Lashley just fucking destroyed him. He was originally set to win the United States Championship, but they just said, no, we don't see anything in Keith Lee. And they gave Matt Riddle the United States Championship. Vince McMahon needs to be removed immediately. And to be quite honest with you, even though Keith Lee could potentially be moving to SmackDown because his fiance is on SmackDown now, supposedly, I still don't have any faith in WWE. Considering that they fucking gave up on Keith Lee and they kept him off of television for this long, I don't know. I really don't fucking know if we'll be able to see Keith Lee on SmackDown. I'm not even sure if they're going to allow Paul Heyman to do his magic over there. And Paul Heyman is going to build Keith Lee up and potentially have Keith Lee work with Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. I have absolutely no idea. Vince McMahon doesn't see anything in fucking Keith Lee, but he sees something in fucking Nia Jax and fucking Tamina. He sees something in fucking Tamina because Tamina was cheered at WrestleMania. Why don't you go back and rewatch TakeOver Portland and listen to the fucking crowd cheer for Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic. Maybe Dominik Dijakovic would be better off if you would listen. Maybe if you get that type of reaction, hopefully, when fans come back, if you just allow these individuals to go out and do what they do, maybe, just maybe you'll see something in them. You see something in Tamina because the crowd cheered her at WrestleMania. Why don't you fucking watch TakeOver Portland? That crowd reaction was 10,000 times the crowd reaction that Tamina Snuka got at WrestleMania. You see nothing in Keith Lee, but you see something in fucking Tamina Snuka. Moving on. This is actually a very weird report. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Bryan Alvarez noted that throughout all of Angel Garza's heel tactics on Monday Night Raw, the Thunderdome crowd was told to cheer him. Alvarez stated, and I quote, "Byron Saxton is the babyface announcer, and he is disgusted by this. Corey Graves is the heel announcer, and he thinks this was awesome. Also, for the record, the guy in the Thunderdome told everyone to make sure to cheer for Angel Garza, so nobody knows what's going on with Angel Garza." End quote. I don't even think WWE knows what they're doing with Angel Garza. You know, there was a report from WrestleVotes that says they want to bring some fresh faces to Monday Night Raw. Angel Garza is one of those fresh faces, which I'm happy about. But at the same point in time, they're just throwing fresh faces out there with absolutely no plan for them whatsoever. The only fucking individuals that I can tell you have a solid plan is RK Bro, and they're going to win the tag team titles at some point. But outside of that, I can't look at you with a straight face and tell you that anyone on Monday Night Raw has a solid plan. They don't know. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing with Angel Garza. They don't. So this doesn't surprise me whatsoever. They're just throwing Angel Garza out there because they want fresh faces, and then hopefully in the coming weeks, they shoot first and then ask questions later. They just throw people out there, and then as they go along, they develop something, and if it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, then they probably give up on the fucking guy. But that's what's going on with Angel Garza. I got a report from AEW. Fightful Select reports that AEW plans to host Full Gear on Saturday, November 6th of this year. So AEW pay-per-views could be returning to Saturday, and the host could be St. Louis, Missouri, I believe. And live fans will be back in attendance at full capacity. Of course, some states have stricter rules than other states, but I'm pretty sure that AEW is going to look to work around that, and they're going to tour in the cities in which they are able to tour in, considering vaccines are open for widespread distribution. And yes, I do know that AEW is also moving to TBS. I actually heard that they are keeping the name of the TNT Championship. I heard they're keeping the name of the TNT Championship, and I am definitely looking forward. to seeing what happens in terms of AEW moving to TBS. They got the new show called Rampage. That's going to be starting on August 13th, I believe it was. It's going to be an interesting piece of information that I'm going to cover, and if I'm still able to, then I'm definitely going to cover that on the channel. I got fucking Habicki texting me right now. I got Habicki. This is like right in the middle of my show. I got Habicki messaging me right now. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Come on in, Habicki. Where are you? Where are you? I want to get to one more like. One more like. We're actually talking about a recent purge. We're actually talking about a recent purge of NXT Talent, actually. On Wednesday, May 19th, Kane's favorite date, WWE had another releasing spree of talent, and it was documented and kept track of by Mr. Sean Ross Sapp. Jonathan Ross Sapp, my number one fan, Jonathan Ross Sapp, the guy whom I live rent-free in his head, Jonathan Ross Sapp of Fightful Select. The list is as follows. WWE released the following talent: Drake Wirtz, who is a referee, Jake Clemens, Alexander Wolf, Skylar Story, a.k.a. Brandy Lauren, Ezra Judge, a.k.a. E.J. Nduka, Jessamine Duke, Vanessa Bourne, and Kavita Devi. And then on Thursday afternoon, it was also reported by Sean Ross Sapp that Velveteen Dream was reportedly let go of. Now, if we're going to be quite honest here, all of the individuals, outside of one, all the individuals really didn't amount to anything. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Drake Wirtz or Skylar Story, even though she wasn't really given an opportunity, I'm not even sure if people knew Jessamine Duke was still employed. Jessamine Duke, she didn't amount to anything either. Vanessa Bourne wasn't all that good. Kavita Devi wasn't all that good. Velveteen Dream was the main individual that people were talking about. And listen, whether you want to admit it or not, something's fishy about the entire situation. Something's fishy. Something's fishy about the entire situation, and I'm telling you, I was thinking about this for the last year. When has WWE ever gone out of their way to protect someone like a Patrick Clark? I said it last week. When has WWE ever gone out of their way to protect someone like a Patrick Clark? It felt to me that something was up that we're not hearing about. It felt to me as if though he was set up. To me, it legitimately felt like he was set up. He was legitimately set up by whoever, because whoever didn't like him. And information and shit could be easily fabricated nowadays. With how big technology has become and how active people really are with technology nowadays, anything could be fabricated. A voiceover could be fabricated, videos could be fabricated, and the fact that these allegations just got him so much heat, I don't even believe that these allegations were true. I don't even believe that these allegations were true. Anything can be fabricated nowadays, and Triple H even said that nothing was found. So, at the end of the day, I can only believe that he was let go because of the heat and the fact that the heat wasn't dying down. WWE, they wanted to give him a chance, but at the end of the day, the heat was just too much, and the heat wasn't dialing down. After a solid year, after a solid fucking year, the heat was not dialing down, so WWE just decided, you know what, we're just going to cut our losses. We're just going to cut our losses, and They just released him. I'm not sure what the future holds, but I do not see him in the wrestling business whatsoever anymore. His career in the wrestling business is virtually over. It's done. It's legitimately done. There's no way that you're going to tell me. There's no way that you're going to tell me that Velveteen Dream's going to find success elsewhere. He's done. He's done. I'm not sure where he goes. I wish the best for him. But at the end of the day, whether the allegations were true or not, I don't believe that they were. The allegations were definitely bullshit in my eyes. But at the end of the day, he was just too much. And for PR reasons, they just decided to let him go. It's a damn shame. It is what it is. He really wasn't factoring into anything on television over the course of the last 5 months. So it's not like he had a major role on television that needs to be refilled now. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is. And we are going to be looking at an NXT without Velveteen Dream. Definitely could have been a top guy. Don't know where he's going to go. I wish him the best. And it is what it is. So that's what's going on. As far as everybody else, nobody else really had any value. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Skylar Story or Jake Clemens or Jessamine Duke had any value. The only guy that really had any value outside of Velveteen Dream was Alexander Wolf, and the fact that they fucked him up. They fucked him up with Sanity. I don't really understand how you call up Sanity with no fucking plans. And I guess if he was hated backstage as well, then again, it was probably best to just cut ties with him. It is what it is at the end of the day, but that's what's going on. This purge of NXT Talent came on Wednesday, May 19th, and then Velveteen Dream's release, that came on Thursday, for anyone who was wondering. My final report before we move on to the weekly show reviews, and I'm just going to shit all over Monday Night Raw. Trust me on that. You're going to see a fucking vein pop out of my head. Before we shit all over Monday Night Raw, it was confirmed that Will Ospreay had officially vacated the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship as he sustained a neck injury at New Japan Pro Wrestling Don Taku. So Will Ospreay is currently out. Hopefully the neck injury is not too severe, but he is out and he has relinquished the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I'm not really sure what this means, but I want you guys to let me know what you think. Could this be a gateway into Kenny Omega possibly winning the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, furthering the Forbidden Door, and making Kenny Omega an even bigger heel than he already is? Because that's the first thing that came to my mind. The first thing that came to my mind is because Kenny Omega is being this belt collector, and you know for a fact that we could very well see Andrade El Idolo. He could win the AAA Mega Championship in July. So I don't know. I really don't know. But Will Ospreay, I wish him a speedy recovery. But I definitely would not be surprised if they possibly set up Kenny Omega to win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, and that could further the Forbidden Door storyline. Those are your news, rumors, and reports. Let's check the chat. Habicki's in the chat. He says that he met Patrick Clark at MCW show years ago with Leo Rush. He was one of the biggest assholes he ever met. I could see why he had heat backstage. Furious Nation is here. How you doing, brother? Great to see you here. We got 22 likes. I love it. I like to see it. 22 likes. We are 8 away from 30. If you guys could keep up the momentum, keep on sharing out the stream, get some more people in here because we have a lot to discuss. We got a lot of weekly show material to discuss, including Monday Night Raw, which I am going to shit all over as I usually do. Thank you very much for joining me here on Saturday. It is a hot, humid fucking day, but we are going to continue on. It's nice and cool where I am. It's really nice and cool where I am, so I'm cool. I'm chilling. I am absolutely chilling. So I am going to be chilling here, drinking my ice water right here, and we are going to just shit all over Monday Night Raw. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. So, strap in, people, because Monday Night Raw. I find it very, very hilarious because right now, WWE is going into a season of disinterest. They're going into a season of disinterest. The intrigue kind of picks up a little bit when the year begins because of the Royal Rumble, right? And then you got WrestleMania season. And then afterwards, after a WrestleMania season, WWE just goes into a complete season of disinterest until SummerSlam rolls around, right? You would think that with the lack of interest in the WWE product right now, and WrestleMania Backlash turning out a hell of a lot better than anyone even expected, people were expecting that show to be a complete fucking shit show, and it turned out to over-exceed everyone's expectations, outside of Miz and Damian Priest, of course, in that zombie lumberjack match. But the show was much better than anyone even anticipated. You would think, after a fairly good WrestleMania Backlash show, you would think that they would try and build on that momentum to maintain the intrigue in the product, right? Of course not. Of course not. This show was boring as shit. This show was fucking boring. So MVP came out to the ring. He introduced the almighty WWE Champion, Mr. Bobby Lashley. He was escorted to the ring by a group of women. MVP said Strowman is nursing broken ribs while Drew couldn't even get out of bed this morning. Lashley said, you know what, I got no nights off. And MVP issued an open challenge to anyone before Drew McIntyre came out. He took the mic from MVP's hand. He said, I can't think of a better way to impress your lovely ladies than Lashley versus McIntyre for the WWE Championship. MVP said, whoa. Anyone except for Braun Strowman and except for you, back of the line. Drew then struck Bobby Lashley and MVP held Lashley back, and that was pretty much that. That was it. I'm here to tell you that no matter how many times MVP says, hey, back of the line, there's no one else. There's legitimately no other baby faces. There's legitimately no one else to face off against Bobby Lashley other than Drew McIntyre. So much so that they had to trot out Kofi Kingston out there in the main event and have him pin Bobby Lashley, which we'll get to. I'm going to rant on that in a little bit, but, I mean, what do you want me to say? This is the same old song and dance that we've been getting between Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. Drew McIntyre didn't even bother to say, oh, hey, I wasn't pinned last night. At this rate, WWE doesn't even think he has to. There's no one else to face Bobby Lashley except for Drew McIntyre. Nobody else to face Bobby Lashley except for Drew McIntyre. At this rate, it's only a matter of time before Drew wins the title back. And we're going to talk about that once we get to the main event. AJ Styles versus Elias. Styles with a forearm to the outside, taking out Elias. Coming back from commercial, Elias with a spine buster for a 2. Styles tried to rally with a swift Pele kick and a Yushi Goroshi for a 2. Elias with a jumping knee and a twisting suplex neckbreaker for a 2. Styles and Elias traded strikes before Jackson Ryker caused the DQ. Omos then went after Ryker, and Elias attacked AJ Styles before Omos sent him running. I don't know what the fucking point of this was. I don't even give a shit about seeing these two in a tag team title match. I don't give a shit. I don't even understand what the point of this was. We already knew Styles wasn't going to lose. So what do? You have Jackson Ryker cause a disqualification. I didn't give a shit. I don't think anybody gave a shit. You know, to be quite honest with you, I'm surprised that I didn't fall asleep within the first 25 minutes of this show. Because on Monday, I had my graduation party, and I ate like a fucking pig. I may not look like it. I'm a lean guy. But I'm telling you, I really went into it on Monday. I had some Sicilian pizza, which was great. some Sicilian pizza, some macaroni salad, some coleslaw, little sliders, Hawaiian sliders, roast beef, turkey, and ham. Hawaiian sliders with yellow American cheese. That is, yellow American cheese. And then for dessert, I had a nice big fat piece of chocolate mousse cake with buttercream frosting. I'm not a cream cheese frosting guy. Buttercream frosting is the way to go when it comes to cake. Am I making you hungry yet? Am I making you hungry? Are you salivating at the mouth for some food? That's what I did on Monday. I'm surprised I didn't slip into a food coma. I'm surprised that I was able to stay awake for Monday Night Raw after all that shit. Alexa's Playground with Tamina and Natalya. Surprised I didn't fall asleep at this one either. Natalya said, "This is a moment we'll cherish forever." Alexa then asked, Lily wants to know what your favorite color is. Natalya said pink. Tamina said blue and black. Tamina said she has no problem swatting out Reginald again. Lily then laughed. Alexa said Lily likes to collect wings of dead bugs, fingernails, and teeth. Natalya and Tamina left. Alexa said, "Good luck tonight, ladies," and that was it. This is the same shit over and over and over and over and over again. I don't understand how anyone finds any intrigue in this. They had something decent with Alexa Bliss, something that we actually could invest time in, and what happened? What happened? WWE just shoves it down everyone's throats, overplays it, oversaturates it, overexposes it, and now we're in a position where we just want Alexa Bliss off of television, period. This voodoo satanic shit, it's old news. It's old news. Alexa Bliss is now back in Charlotte Flair territory. I'm counting down the days until Charlotte Flair retires, and I'm counting down the days until Alexa Bliss retires. This fucking sucked. This sucks. Angel Garza versus Drew Gulak. Garza just ran roughshod over Gulak. He wins with the wing clipper, and then he shoves the rose down Gulak's throat. I don't know where they're going with Garza. I'm glad that they're using him on television because he's way too good not to be utilized on television. I don't really know where he's going, but I would love to see Angel Garza. I would love to see Angel Garza possibly in maybe a U.S. title program. I would love to see Garza in a U.S. title program towards the end of the year. And I would love to see Garza possibly as the United States champion. R-Truth was interviewed by Kevin Patrick. He thought that there was an open challenge for his 24/7 title. 24/7 title has been seen in months. I would love to know who the asshole was that reminded Bruce Pritchard, hey, we haven't showcased the 24/7 title in a while. Why don't we showcase the 24/7 title? I would love to know who the asshole was that said that to Bruce Pritchard. Because whoever it was, I got a bone to pick with you. Tozawa rolled up R-Truth and won the 24/7 title. Why is it back? Why is the 24/7 title back? Please, can someone answer me legitimately? Why is the 24/7 title back? Why? Get it off of fucking television. Randy Orton. Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. This went 5 minutes. Kofi rolled up Orton after Xavier Woods played his trombone to distract Randy Orton. Kofi with a roll-up. Riddle then shoved Woods down in frustration as Orton walked away and Riddle followed. So, could we be looking at a potential Matt Riddle heel turn? Is Matt Riddle starting to become more serious? Is he starting to warm up to Randy Orton? I don't know. But either way, RK Bro, I'm liking RK Bro. And I think we could be looking at a match between RK Bro and the New Day. I expect Woods to take the pin there because of Kofi. Now, I'm going to talk about Kofi in a little bit. But that's what happened there. Went 5 minutes. And Randy Orton loses to a roll-up and a trombone distraction from Xavier Woods. Charlotte Flair. Charlotte. Corella DeVille 2.0. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but we live by a very special code here on the channel. This is the DJ Storms channel, and we live by a code. We live by a code, and I'm pretty sure you all know what that code is. Let's take a look at what we got. Look at that. We got Ty Dillinger over there. And Baron Corbin, back when he was the Lone Wolf. Fans were in attendance too. Okay, we got a code here. I want to know what this code is right here. Specific type of code here we got going on. Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck Charlotte Flair. Fuck Charlotte Flair. And all of her supporters. Fuck Charlotte Flair. She's a self-entitled, egotistical cunt. So she was going over that she was not pinned in the back. She should be getting an automatic one-on-one match with Rhea. No, you shouldn't. Matter of fact, you should be off of television completely. The entire show and the company will be just fine without you, bitch. Sonya said, if you beat Asuka tonight, we will consider your request. Rhea then walked in and she said, I'm ready for new competition. Charlotte, you're nothing but yesterday's news. Charlotte said, take notes. And Rhea said, I'll be watching in case the queen happens to fall from her throne. And that was that. The women's division sucks. It sucks. Natalya and Tamina versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for the women's tag team championships. Alexa Bliss came out again. She made the pyro go off. Reginald got scorched. We had a heart attack by Tamina and Natalya to retain. Lily laughed as everyone else looked around at the ceiling. So I don't really understand. I don't really understand why Alexa is targeting Shayna. I really don't get it. Why is Alexa Bliss targeting Shayna Baszler? I mean, I have a theory. It's probably because Alexa Bliss knows that Shayna Baszler is the easiest fucking person to beat. Everyone pins Shayna Baszler. Asuka, Charlotte, Becky, Naomi, Dana Brooke, Natalya, Tamina. Lana pinned her months ago. Lana pinned her. Everyone beat Shayna Baszler, so Alexa's like, hey, it's an easy victory for me. I don't know why WWE is doing it. It legitimately feels like WWE is punishing Shayna Baszler. Because we know that Shayna Baszler should obviously be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and she should win the match. She should be the one to take the title off of Rhea Ripley, but of course, that's not going to happen because WWE doesn't see anything in Shayna Baszler, just like they don't see anything in fucking Keith Lee. Sheamus versus Ricochet. Ricochet, who, by the way, he was attacked on social media, was Ricochet, for saying that he can do what Io Shirai does, but better. I mean, I don't really understand where he's wrong there. If anything, he's right. Io Shirai is great. I love Io Shirai. I'm a big advocate for Io Shirai. Io Shirai is a future pillar of the women's division. Io Shirai is easily a woman that should be in top contention for winning the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble and should be a champion by next year's WrestleMania. Io Shirai is excellent, but Ricochet, I mean, just go watch what him and Adam Cole did. Just go watch what he did in the ladder match for the North American Championship. Go watch what him and Johnny Gargano did. Ricochet saying that he's better than Io Shirai. I mean, it's not really anything to be mad about, and the only reason why anyone would be mad about that is because he's correct. So I don't really understand what there is to be what there is to be mad about with Ricochet saying that he can do what Io Shirai does but better. He's right. If you don't like it, tough shit. Suck my dick. I don't care. So Ricochet, he was called out by Sheamus for stealing his coat and hat. Ricochet was then interviewed in the back by Sarah Schreiber, and he indeed stole Sheamus' coat and hat. He mocked Sheamus' accent, saying that after he beat Sheamus, he's going to go have himself a pint. So he came out to the ring. Sheamus ran after Ricochet. Ricochet dropped toe-holded Sheamus into the floor. Ricochet tried to gain the early advantage. He was in wrestling jeans again. I don't understand why. I don't understand why he was in wrestling jeans. It's like WWE's trying to make him uncool. Sheamus tossed around Ricochet into the timekeeper's area. Coming back from commercial, Sheamus with an Irish curse backbreaker for a 2. Ricochet caught Sheamus on the top with a beautiful Spanish fly. That got a 2 count. Ricochet with a springboard clothesline and a standing shooting star press for a 2. Inside cradle, but Ricochet kicked out. Ricochet then with a crossbody to the floor, taking out Sheamus. Inside the ring, Ricochet with a very nice springboard 450 on Sheamus, but Sheamus was able to kick out. We had a punt knee strike off the springboard. Ricochet still kicked out. Sheamus then connected with the bro kick, and Sheamus won. And then afterwards, he called out Lashley. He called out Bobby Lashley, and he said that he could possibly fight Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship later on. Now, this was a very good match. This was undoubtedly the only good thing on the show. This was very, very good. Sheamus and Ricochet worked very, very well together. But I really don't understand the point. Why do you have challengers who should be challenging Sheamus for the title? Why are they facing Sheamus in non-title matches and losing? I love Sheamus. Sheamus is great. Sheamus is a great promo. Sheamus is an excellent professional wrestler. Ricochet, he's great at what he does, and this is a very good match. The only thing on the show worth going back and watching. They work very well together, and Sheamus has been doing some great work. Sheamus has been putting on some great matches with the likes of Matt Riddle and Lashley and McIntyre. But what's the fucking point? Well, legitimately, what is the point of this? Where is this leading to? I don't understand where this is leading to. I don't understand what Ricochet is going to be doing. I don't even expect Ricochet to even show up on Raw next week. What is the point of Sheamus holding the U.S. title if this is all you're going to do with him? I don't understand. Sheamus should be waiting for a challenger. He should be waiting for someone to get built up through wins like a Ricochet or a Humberto or a Gulak or a Priest or an Angel Garza. Why is he beating everyone in non-title matches? Why is he not defending the fucking title? This is what you gave the United States Championship to Sheamus for? Are they really setting up for John Cena's return? Is John Cena going to come back? Is he going to fight Sheamus? And is he going to just lose to Sheamus, and that's going to be Sheamus' only title defense? That's going to be Sheamus' only title defense, and then Sheamus goes back to doing what he's doing week in and week out? I don't get it. I really don't understand. I do not understand. So, after that, we had T-Bar and Mace, T-Balls, and Disgrace. They flipped a coin, the Great Value Ascension. They flipped a coin to see who would face Lashley, and they were building up the Open Challenge, which I really don't understand why. I really don't understand why. I don't understand why anyone would care to see T-Balls and Disgrace in the main event against Bobby Lashley. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I really don't know what the fuck they're doing. I really don't. This is the best that you got from after the Retribution breakup. You should be building up Dominik Dijakovic as a solid contender for Sheamus as Dominik Dijakovic. Dio Madden, he's not bad, but I don't see him amounting to anything. Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair again. So great. So I have to see Charlotte Flair twice. Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. This wasn't a bad match. This was not a bad match. But we've seen this match how many times? Yes, these two work well together, but at the end of the fucking day, we have seen this match time and time and time and time again to a point where I'm just ready to move on. I don't want to see these two in a match ever again. Rhea Ripley came out midway through. Charlotte was up to her usual lack of selling because Charlotte Flair refuses to fucking sell. She is fucking terrible. She's terrible. She sucks. She absolutely sucks. Asuka with a German suplex and a Shining Wizard for a 2. Charlotte with a boot for a 2. Charlotte then put Asuka on the top rope. Charlotte looked like she botched the Spanish Fly, but Asuka held on. Asuka with a missile dropkick for a 2. Asuka then with a roll through knee bar. Asuka then transitioned into a triangle. Charlotte reversed into a Boston Crab. Asuka then locked in the Asuka lock. Charlotte got to the ropes. Charlotte then got in Rhea's face. Rhea then got up on the apron. She was booted off the apron. Charlotte was going for the figure 8, but Asuka took advantage, rolled up Charlotte for the win. And Asuka beat Charlotte. Asuka beat Charlotte. Now, by logic, I know that's not really a thing in WWE, but by logic, Charlotte Flair lost 2 big matches back to back. You would think that that means that she's out of the title picture, right? No. I'm here to tell you that no matter how many times Charlotte Flair loses, I am here to tell you that there's nobody else. There's nobody else. Nobody else. There's Asuka and there's Rhea. Unless you want to count Eva Marie, but then again, I'm not sure if Eva Marie's even going to be wrestling, but I'm still expecting the worst from Eva Marie. Charlotte Flair, at this rate, this is just WWE stalling Charlotte Flair, which, again, for the last 6 fucking months, I've been saying it over and over again, I don't understand what the prolonging is with Charlotte Flair. Just fucking give her the title so that way we can figure out a way to get the title off of Charlotte Flair. I don't understand. I don't. I really don't. I don't understand what the prolonging is. Matter of fact, this is just WWE's route to keep Charlotte Flair out of the title picture up until fans come back. I would not be surprised if they give Charlotte Flair the title at Money in the Bank, or, God fucking forbid, we get another Asuka versus Rhea Ripley match, or we get a triple threat Hell in a Cell match. Either way, Charlotte Flair is not going to win the Raw Women's Championship at Hell in a Cell, and God fucking forbid, are we going to see Charlotte Flair in Money in the Bank? Are we going to have to watch Charlotte Flair potentially win Money in the Bank? And we're going to see fucking Charlotte Flair use the Money in the Bank briefcase in order to get a shot at Rhea Ripley because apparently they're not giving Charlotte Flair a one-on-one match with Rhea Ripley? I fucking hope not. Damian Priest versus John Morrison. We get a lumberjack match. A regular lumberjack match this time. Nikki Cross was one of the lumberjacks. Morrison was flipping and flopping around trying to get away from the lumberjacks. Priest hit South of Heaven. Typical lumberjack match. Priest took out Mason T-Bar. Cedric Alexander went to take out Shelton Benjamin. We had a superplex into the lumberjacks. Priest with a Hurricane Rana off the top and hit the lights for the win. Is that the fucking end? He said that. Damian Priest even said, "Oh, Miz and Morrison are a thing of the past." Really? They should have been a thing of the past 2 months ago. They should have never even been a thing, period. He threw his name into the hat to challenge Lashley, so they were making this a big deal. We got more Eva Marie promos. Really, nothing all that exciting, nothing all of that spectacular, but Again, I'm expecting the worst from Eva Marie. I'm expecting the absolute worst from Eva Marie. Cedric and Shelton, they had another backstage altercation. Don't really give a shit. Bobby Lashley came out to issue his open challenge. All of a sudden, the New Day come out. And Kofi Kingston answered the challenge while MVP said, well, we didn't say anything about a championship match. So apparently this was a non-title open challenge, quote unquote. Lashley kept the aggression on Kofi. The referee was tied up with Xavier Woods. MVP was going to hit Kofi with the cane before Drew McIntyre came out. He took the cane, he hit Bobby Lashley with it, and Kofi rolled up Bobby Lashley for the win, and Kofi Kingston pins the WWE champion. I don't really know what you want me to say about this. Bobby Lashley, think about this. Bobby Lashley, for months, dominant, protected, made to look legit, made to look fierce, made to look real. Bobby Lashley, legit, made to look like a complete fucking killer, a complete monster. Given the WWE Championship, Bobby Lashley ragdolled The Miz in 5 minutes to win the championship. Then he made Drew McIntyre pass out at WrestleMania. Then we go to WrestleMania Backlash, and Bobby Lashley, he gets battered with the steel steps. Then we get Bobby Lashley being thrown through the LED stage. He came back after all of that to spear Braun Strowman. He pinned Braun Strowman, and he won the triple threat match between Strowman and Drew McIntyre. And Bobby Lashley retained the WWE title, all to get pinned within minutes by Kofi Kingston because you don't have anyone else. At this rate, what I see happening is the fact that Drew McIntyre, he's obviously going to get the title back. So what's going to happen? They're going to wait till Money in the Bank because you got live fans at Money in the Bank. So they had Kofi Kingston pin Bobby Lashley in a one-on-one match, non-title match, so that way Kofi Kingston is going to get a WWE Championship title opportunity at Bobby Lashley at Hell in a Cell because that's the last pay-per-view in the Thunderdome. And Kofi Kingston is going to be a sacrificial lamb for Lashley to get through Hell in a Cell before he gets to Money in the Bank, and he drops the title to Drew McIntyre. Bobby Lashley is finished. The clock is ticking on Mr. Lashley. The clock is ticking. Absolute joke. Monday Night Raw is a joke. The WWE is a joke. Anyone that supports this company is a fucking joke! Let's check the chat. My voice is fucking killing me already. Furious Nation, Lashley doesn't feel special anymore. Oh, you don't say, bro. You don't fucking say. Peanuts and Cool King and Danielle, they're all having a dab party. Yeah, I know. Keir Johnson, he's a fucking cocksucker. He's a WWE cocksucker. He's a fucking loser. Meanwhile, I'm going to be making the big bucks as an accountant, and he's still in his dark bedroom, stuffing his face with Chicken McNuggets. Fat slob. So, what's going on over here? Who else is still in the chat? We still only have 22 likes. We need some more. We need more than that. We need more than just 22 likes. Because we got NXT to go over. We got plenty more shows to go over. Right now we're going to go over NXT. So let's get straight into NXT. NXT this week. Decent show. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that NXT is jack shit horrible. I'm not. But oh, God. The vibe in NXT, it's just very, very lackluster. They're not doing themselves any favors. I'm not sure what's going on. The effect from Vince McMahon is still being felt. I'd like to hope that the build towards TakeOver in your house. I'd like to hope that that's going to pick up. I really like to hope that that's going to pick up. But NXT, it's just very, very lackluster. The show wasn't bad. I'm not going to tell you that the show was bad. NXT, out of the 3 shows, out of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, NXT is still the best show out of the entire WWE product. That's not really saying much. I mean, it doesn't really take much to be better than Raw and SmackDown. I mean, the only thing that SmackDown has is Roman Reigns. But NXT wasn't a terrible show. It just still to me, it just feels very lackluster. I'd like to hope that we're going to get some build towards TakeOver in your house, because right now we don't have any matches confirmed. It almost seems like they don't even know where they want to go. So, show started off with Toni Storm versus Zoe Stark. This was a very good women's match for the time that it went. It went about 12 minutes. Very good women's match. Storm was in control early with a nice suplex on Stark for a 2. We had a big boot to the face for a 2. Stark fought back, hit a few chops. Storm tried to wear her down. Stark came back with a very nice super kick and a sliding lariat and a shining wizard for a 2. Stark has a very nice super kick. It's a fierce one. I like that. I like the intensity from Zoe Stark. We had another super kick and a half suplex for a 2. Storm, then with a snap German suplex, she hit Storm 0, but Stark kicked out. Storm then hit a modified judo throw into a DDT. It looked crazy in a good way. It looked crazy in a good way. And Toni Storm got the win over Zoe Stark in a very good opening match. Afterwards, Frankie Monet then came out, and she just relished and soaked up the spotlight, and that was pretty much that. Not really sure where Frankie Monet is going to fit into the division, but the gimmick sucks. Gimmick absolutely fucking blows. Let's see if she can back it up in the ring. But Toni Storm and Zoe Stark, very good match. Storm wins, rightfully so. Hopefully Storm gets a future shot at the NXT Women's Championship, because Toni Storm deserves a lot better than what she's been given. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, the way they were getting spa massages. Dexter Lumis was actually the one massaging Indy, and Indy called him a loser, but Lumis also found out that Candice LeRae had brainwashed Indy, and then Lumis left, and that was not the last that we saw of Candice and Indy throughout the course of the night. Balor and Cross, prime target. They had a video package leading into their NXT Championship match next week. Cross and Balor were both rewatching their match from TakeOver. They had an NXT analyst going over the match. They also had Pat McAfee and Paul Heyman commenting on the match. This was excellent. I don't know why this is not being done on the main roster. It legitimately makes the matches on the show. It makes the matches and it makes the show that the match is on feel more important. I don't know why we're not getting these types of promo packages on weekly television for Raw and SmackDown. Shit like this makes everything feel more important. And I'm very, very excited to see the match next week. I think it's going to be a great match. Here's the thing that I'm concerned about. The thing that I'm concerned about is this. The thing that I'm concerned about is, where does Balor go after his loss to Cross? I don't see Balor beating Cross. Cross is not losing that championship until Parker Bodor is ready. And Parker Bodor clearly isn't ready. Parker Bodor is the guy that's going to beat Karrion Kross. Maybe they have Kyle O'Reilly do it. Maybe they have Pete Dunne do it, for all we know. I don't see that happening, but as far as the guy to beat Karrion Kross, I only see it being Parker Bodor. But I don't see Balor winning next week. Now, where does Balor go afterwards? Now, they could insert him into the Cruiserweight Championship title hunt. I would love to see a match between him and Kushida. That would definitely do the Cruiserweight title very, very well. Kushida's been doing the Cruiserweight title very, very well. But I wouldn't mind seeing Balor in the Cruiserweight Championship title hunt against Kushida. That would be an excellent match. Does he go to SmackDown? To be quite honest with you, I would not put him on SmackDown. And I'll tell you why. SmackDown right now is just oversaturated with talent in the upper mid-card to main event scene. You got Roman, you got Cesaro, you got Rollins, you got Big E, you got Owens, you got Sammy, you got Apollo, you got Aleister Black, who recently just made his return. So where is there going to be room for a guy like Finn Balor? And you got potentially Keith Lee coming over to SmackDown. So where is there going to be room for a guy like Finn Balor? Where's there going to be room for him? If anything, Balor would kind of get lost in the shuffle. He could be brought in for a match with Roman, but if you're going to put him against Roman at SummerSlam, it's an inevitable loss. You're going to bring Balor up to the main roster to lose. You're going to bring Balor up to the main roster to lose to Roman. Now, I don't want to say put him on Monday Night Raw, because Monday Night Raw is the place where careers go to die. Monday Night Raw, and your career is pretty much a death wish if you go to Raw, but at this rate, Monday Night Raw needs all the help that they can get. I would put Finn Balor on Raw. Put Balor on Raw and have him beat Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. Then put Adam Cole on Monday Night Raw. Build up Adam Cole for a match against Finn Balor for the WWE Championship by having Adam Cole win the Royal Rumble in 2022. Adam Cole, Finn Balor, WrestleMania 38 for the WWE Championship. You need to utilize Finn Balor to the best of his ability. Put him on Monday Night Raw. Put him in a WWE title match with Lashley and give him the WWE Championship. Quite simple. That's the best route for Finn Balor, but I don't know where he goes after his loss to Cross. Jake Atlas versus good old Cameron Grimes. And I'm going to take all my cash. I'm going to invest in GameStop. And I'm going to the moon. Cameron Grimes. Danielle's favorite superstar, Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes came out with his microphone. He said, Ted DiBiase keeps embarrassing me, but wait till you see the real Ted DiBiase. And he played a video package of Ted DiBiase flipping and flopping and getting embarrassed. The crowd was chanting DiBiase. So this match with Atlas, it wasn't necessarily terrible, but I don't really understand where they're going with this. The match wasn't terrible, but not really something that I would be interested in. Atlas with a swift Hurricane Rana for a 2. Grimes came back with a swift clothesline. Atlas whipped Grimes into the buckle, German suplex. Split screen showed Ted DiBiase arriving to the arena. We had a discus lariat by Atlas turning Grimes inside out for a 2. Grimes with a Spanish fly before Ted DiBiase's music hit. He came out. Atlas rolled up Grimes for the win. Ted DiBiase laughed at Grimes' misfortune. Grimes then went looking for him. Ted DiBiase was in his limo. He said, "You're no $1 million man." He drove off, and Grimes screamed, "That damn Ted DiBiase." Listen, this is very entertaining. The back and forth between Cameron Grimes and Ted DiBiase. This is wildly entertaining, but where is this leading to? It's becoming very, very repetitive. Is this leading to Cameron Grimes and Ted DiBiase joining forces? I hope so. That's probably the best route. I would love to see Ted DiBiase take Cameron Grimes to that next level. He could be Cameron Grimes' financial advisor or his manager, and he could legitimately take Cameron Grimes from a mid-card talent to a main event talent. This could be huge for Cameron Grimes, and I really do hope they decide to partner them up. I really do hope they decide to partner them up. Pete Dunne had an exclusive sit-down interview. He was interviewed by a sports analyst. Don't remember his name. He's irrelevant, though. Dunne then ran down all of the champions in NXT. He says, "I don't really care about respect. My work speaks for itself." Dunne says he's inspired by British wrestling, blending it from America and Japan. Everyone knows when someone twists your fingers and bends your shoulders, it hurts. And he finally said, it's time to go after that NXT title. And that was pretty much that. This was some very good stuff by Pete Dunne. He carried himself very, very well. He did not sound like he was reading off of a cue card. He sounded natural. And again, this is what I'm talking about. This is the shit that we need to see on Raw and SmackDown. There's no way that you're going to tell me that this was scripted. You're not going to tell me that this shit was scripted. Pete Dunne came off natural. He came off legit. He came off like he was legitimately speaking from the heart. Everything that Pete Dunne said, it resonated. It came off real and genuine. And that's exactly what we need. You take a look at some of the promos that Rhea Ripley's cutting and Bianca Belair is cutting. You take a look at some of the promos that guys like Drew Gulak is cutting. You humiliated and embarrassed me. He sounds like a robot. Everyone legitimately sounds like a fucking... Everyone sounds the same. Everyone sounds the same on the main roster. Everyone sounds the same. Pete Dunne over here. Pete Dunne, in 5 minutes, less than that, this sit-down interview, he came off excellent. We need to see more like this. More shit like this that develops character and develops everyone a reason to care about said individual. We have a reason to care about Pete Dunne because he's developing his character and he's explaining to us who he's inspired by and how his work speaks for himself, and now it's time to go after the NXT title. It legitimately makes us want to see what he does next. We need to see more of this on the main roster. The fact that we're not is fucking ridiculous. Killian Dane versus Alexander Wolf. This went 2 minutes. Bartel slid Wolf a chair. Wolf got the chair, but he got bulldozed by Killian Dane. Killian Dane won with the divide. And then afterwards, Bartel and Eichner then helped Wolf up, and they attacked him. They hit the European bomb, and Alexander Wolf is officially gone from Imperium. He was released from WWE as well. I wish Alexander Wolf the best in his future endeavors, but if we're going to be quite honest here, it's probably the best. Imperium is best as a trios group. Alexander Wolf was the odd man out. There's no way that I saw Alexander Wolf winning a mid-card championship. You got Walter as the main guy, and then Eichner and Bartel as the tag team, and they are going to be a tag team as Imperium. So it is what it is. I'm glad that they're keeping Dane and Maverick together because they are much better together than they are separately. Legado del Fantasma versus Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa. This was a very, very, very good tag team match, and it is setting up a very interesting tag team title scenario. The tag team division, it's really starting to come into its own, and the tag team division finally has a legit focus here on NXT. I like it. I like that. So Thatcher and Ciampa were in control early. Mendoza actually had a busted lip. He was bleeding. Thatcher with an ankle lock. Ciampa with an ankle lock of his own on Wild. Ciampa took out Wild. We had an enziguri by Mendoza and an enziguri by Thatcher. All 4 men were down. Coming back from commercial, Tommaso Ciampa with a corner clothesline barrage to Legado del Fantasma. Big double clothesline taking out both men. Legado del Fantasma then shut down Tommaso Ciampa. We had a tag to Timothy Thatcher, and he lit up both men. We had a nice necklock suplex on Mendoza for a 2. Ciampa and Thatcher with some nasty strikes. A running knee by Ciampa for a 2. Back and forth strikes. We had a Shining Wizard by Mendoza. Thatcher then took out Mendoza. Wild took out Thatcher. Ciampa with Willow's Bell, but Mendoza with a springboard drop kick to break it up. The referee was caught up with Mendoza, and then all of a sudden the grizzled young veterans came out, dropped Ciampa on the apron. Legado del Fantasma then with the Russian leg sweep enziguri combination. Very good match. Legado del Fantasma get the win, rightfully so. It looks like the grizzled young veterans are going to be feuding with Ciampa and Thatcher for the time being. I got no problem with that. Build up the grizzled young veterans heading into their eventual title win against MSK. And in 2 weeks, we get Legado del Fantasma versus MSK for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Should be a rather interesting match. Very, very interested to see what happens there. Bobby Fish was interviewed. And I'm sorry, but Bobby Fish is not going anywhere as a singles guy. This was a decent promo as well. He said Dunn and Lorcan put him out with tricep surgery, forced him to watch with the rest of the world as the Undisputed Era imploded. Now there's a debt to be paid. Pete, show up next week and I'm going to finish this. So next week we're actually building towards a pretty decently stacked show. We got Cross and Balor for the NXT Championship. We got Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai versus Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. We also got Cameron Grimes and Ted DiBiase having a $1 million face-off. And now we have Bobby Fish and Pete Dunne, which should be a decent match. We had a massage girl. She said that Candice's credit card was declined. Indy then found out that Candice actually brought the flowers to Shotzi and Ember. Indy realized that Index is still a thing. She screamed, "He still loves me." So Index is apparently back. Kind of fucking stupid. I don't give a shit. I don't think anyone gives a shit. It's ruining Dexter Loomis's character. And it kind of sucks that Dexter Loomis has now been shoved down the ladder for Bronson Reed. And that's not taking anything away from Bronson Reed, because Bronson Reed's great and he absolutely deserves this. But it just sucks that Dexter Loomis has been shoved down the ladder and he's been reduced to a romance angle. It's stupid. Aaliyah versus Sarray. This went 3 minutes. Sarray wins in convincing fashion. Sliding dropkick and a necklock T-bone suplex for the win. Not really sure where Sarray is going, but they're going to have to develop some character for Sarray because all we've seen is just wrestling. And that's great and all, that's great, but we're going to need a reason to care about Sarray. Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon had a promo package calling out Raquel and Kai, wanting a shot at Candice and Indy, and they plan on taking care of business next week. So we got that tag team match next week. We also got Hit Row. Hit Row, they took on Tony Nese and Aria Daivari. This was some good shit. This was some good shit right here. Top Dollar picked up both Daivari and Nese. He looked good. Adonis with a wicked dropkick. Some really good stuff here from Ashanti the Adonis. Super kick to Tony Nese. Top Dollar with a Rude Bomb. I haven't seen a Rude Bomb in a while. Rude Bomb by Top Dollar for the win. And Hit Row gets the victory. I'm glad that they're adding another team to the tag team division. I would not put BFAB in the women's division, though, because the women's division is just so oversaturated that you do not need any more women in that division. That division is as perfect as it is. Focus on rejuvenating the tag team division and the main event scene. That's where you need to focus on. Do not focus on the women's division. The women's division is just fine. But Hit Row as a tag team. I can definitely get behind that. I'm definitely interested to see where they go with Hit Row. Definitely looking forward to seeing them grow over time. You got Top Dollar and Ashanti the Adonis as the tag team, and you got Swerve as the singles guy. And I can absolutely see Swerve as a potential North American champion by the end of the year. Main event was Bronson Reed versus Johnny Gargano. This is a steel cage match for the NXT North American Championship. This was an excellent steel cage match from start to finish. Bronson Reed and Johnny Gargano, they worked very well together. Reed was in control early. Gargano came back. He wore down Bronson Reed. Theory caused a distraction before Gargano took over. Reed with a massive power slam. He sent Gargano back and forth into the cage. Nice Samoan drop from the middle rope, but Gargano kicked out. Gargano and Reed were up on the ropes. Gargano with a sunset flip powerbomb off the top to Reed, but Reed kicked out. Theory tried to help Gargano out the cage, but Reed pulled Gargano in. Theory held the door shut. We had Gargano hitting a Poison Rana. Gargano hit the Poison Rana on Bronson Reed, you could not pay me all the money in the world to take a poison Rana. Dropped Reed right on his head. One final beat was countered. Reed went for the door, but Theory slammed the door into Reed's face. Gargano with one final beat, but Reed kicked out. Reed then on the top. He powerbombed Gargano off the top. Theory tried to climb the cage. Theory was shoved down. Gargano was crawling for the door, but Reed hit the tsunami splash to the back. Reed then went up to the top, hit a second tsunami splash. So Gargano was flattened not once, but twice. You could not pay me all the money in the world to take one tsunami splash, let alone two. But Gargano, he's a fucking trooper. He took two tsunami splashes, and Bronson Reed wins the North American Championship. Right outcome. Very, very happy for Bronson Reed. Excellent steel cage match, and Bronson Reed wins the North American Championship, and now it opens up a whole new door of challengers, and I'm predicting that Bronson Reed's going to hold that title throughout the summer, going into the fall, and we could very well see Bronson Reed built up, and he could possibly drop it to Swerve. I see Swerve being the guy to take it off of him, but this was a great steel cage match. Very, very happy for Bronson Reed. Where he goes at TakeOver, I can see him facing someone like an LA Knight, although Swerve did throw his hat into the mix, so I don't know. Maybe we do see Swerve, but I'm absolutely going with LA Knight to be Bronson Reed's first challenger, and Swerve, I feel as though they're going to save Swerve for a potential title opportunity down the line. I don't think he's winning just yet. Not yet. Decent show overall. Hopefully we see a little bit better going into NXT TakeOver in your house. Hopefully we see a little bit better of a build. I'd like to think that we could possibly get a fatal four-way tag team title match, maybe get Bronson Reed versus LA Knight. We could possibly see Karrion Kross versus maybe a Pete Dunne or a Kyle O'Reilly. I don't know who Raquel is facing. Maybe we see something for the Women's Tag Team Championships. We'll see what happens there. But decent overall show. Really nothing too special outside of the main event. We got 23 likes. 23 likes. Very, very, very good shit. But I would like to get to 30. We are just 7 likes away, people. We are 7 likes away from 30. If you can, I want you guys to share out the stream as much as you possibly can. Peanuts, have you shared out the stream? We're going to check right now. Did you share out the stream, Peanuts? If you haven't, please do that right now. Please share out the stream, David Maniscalco, if you haven't already done that. Danielle, I know you shared out the stream. Yes, Peanuts did share out the stream. Please make sure you guys are sharing out the stream because we have a lot more to discuss. We have 3 more shows to discuss before we get out of here. We're going to discuss AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite was a great show. A great show from start to finish. Really, really good stuff here. Really, really, really good stuff right here from AEW. AEW really focused very, very, very much on building towards Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is completely filled out, completely stacked, and it is going to be a great show for sure. AEW Double or Nothing is going to be an excellent show. I expect them to bring their A game come May 30th. It's going to be a damn good show. So, AEW Dynamite started off with a match between Christian Cage and Matt Sydal. Christian Cage and Matt Sydal. This was a very good match for the 10 minutes that it was. These two worked very, very well together. And, of course, they did work well together. They were part of WWE at the same time, so you can imagine that they do have some experience working together. But these two worked very, very well together. Christian Cage has adapted quite nicely to his home in AEW. He's really, really adapted quite nicely since re-signing with a major wrestling company. He does not look out of place. He does not look gassed. He looks like he is very, very comfortable in the ring. Matt Sydal, he's very, very underrated. So Cage and Sydal, they went tit for tat, back and forth counters. Cage was in control. Sydal came back with a jumping savate kick. Cage cut him off on the top. Sydal then punched Cage down. We had a diving meteor for a 2. Sydal with a swift lariat for a 2. We had a spinning heel kick by Sydal. Running corner knee strike, that got a 2 count. Cage with a backbreaker. Sydal, he hit a roll-up with ankles over the shoulders, a very close near fall. Christian Cage is barely kicked out. Sydal then dodged the crossbody. Christian Cage missed the crossbody. Sydal then missed the moonsault. Cage hit the spear, but Sydal was able to kick out. Cage was able to hit the kill switch, and he got the 1-2-3 victory over Matt Sydal. Christian Cage remains undefeated. Very good match for 10 minutes. Afterwards, Ricky Starks came out and he said, "I'm front and center. Between me and you, we got business to handle." And then afterwards, Hook, Hobbs, and Brian Cage then came out from behind. They assaulted Sydal and Christian Cage. Adam Hangman Page came out, and I love what Adam Hangman Page did here. He handed Ricky Starks' beer, and then he went to attack. He attacked Team Taz, but Hook hit a chop block on Adam Hangman Page, and then Brian Cage powerbombed Page, obviously leading into their little matchup towards Double or Nothing. That's definitely a match that could very well be the sleeper match of the night. So keep your eyes on Adam Hangman Page and Brian Cage. The Acclaimed. I love The Acclaimed. The Acclaimed versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Caster with his raps. He said, "Eddie Kingston, why you dress like it's 04? You looking like a box of Newports." He said, "Moxley, I'ma knock you out with this mic like Omega did. Call your girl up. She in my mentions trying to hit me up for some oral sessions." Now, we all know that Oral Sessions is the name of Renee Young's or Renee Paquette's podcast. And then Anthony Bones was like, "What? She just wants us to be on the podcast." If I have not already specified this enough, Max Caster is fucking fantastic. The guy is legitimately fantastic. The guy is going to be a heat magnet. He's going to be a heat magnet. When live crowds are back in attendance, full attendance, each and every single place that they go, people are going to absolutely go nuts for Max Caster. This was fantastic. So Moxley leveled Anthony Bones with a right hand. They attacked him immediately. The Acclaimed isolated Kingston. We had a tag to Moxley. He lit up the Acclaimed with a snap German suplex and a King Kong lariat. We had a pile driver to Caster. Sleeper hold to Bowens. The Acclaimed then with a superplex to Moxley. He held on. Superplex crossbody combo, but Kingston was able to save the match. Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. Then they got taken out. Bowens had the chain. Caster went to hit Kingston with the boombox, but Moxley hit Caster with the boombox. Kingston and Moxley then with an aided paradigm shift, and they got the win over the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed looked very good. Kingston and Moxley are always great, and now it looks like we are headed towards Kingston and Moxley. We are indeed headed towards Kingston and Moxley versus the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. It's going to be good. It's going to be very good. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page were interviewed. Now, listen, this partnership really doesn't make any fucking sense. It's fucking stupid. We haven't seen anything as far as substance from these two. But I will say this. This promo was great. They carried themselves very, very well in this promo, I will say. I don't know where the partnership is going, but it seems as though they're just thrown together in this partnership just for the sake of it, just to give them something to do. But the promo was great. They carried themselves very well on this, especially Ethan Page. So, Scorpio Sky, he said, I loved Sting, but then something happened. Time. You are not the same man you used to be. I'm a grown man warning you. Step aside or I will put you down. Page then took the mic. He said, you already proved you can put him down, just like I threw Darby Allin down the steps, and then you lost the TNT Championship. Darby, I am here to take everything away from you. And Darby Allin, I will be the final nail in your coffin. All of a sudden, the lights go out. Sting came out. Darby then came up from behind them with a skateboard. We had a big brawl. Sting then locked in the Scorpion Deathlock on Sky. Page then watched as Sting and Darby stood tall. The Dark Order then chased off Page and Scorpio Sky. And that was that. And it was made official. We get Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky versus Sting and Darby Allin at Double or Nothing. Should be a decent tag team match right there. That's a match that could honestly swing either way. I don't know who's going to win. I can't give you a clear-cut winner on that match. But here's what I will say. The partnership between Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky really doesn't make too much sense, but the promo was great. They carried themselves very, very well. And again, this is what I'm saying. You need to stop fucking overly scripting people. You're not going to tell me that these two individuals were scripted. These two individuals came off legit, they came off real, they came off genuine, and they came off intense. And that's what I want to see. Should be an interesting tag team match at Double or Nothing for sure. The Pinnacle. The Pinnacle was in a very nice restaurant. This is another one. Great promo. MJF said, you're so funny, Chris. I hope you laugh yourself silly because you're dealing with a guy who always gets the last laugh. Dax said, we should be building a legacy. We should be fighting for the top tier championships, but instead, we have to deal with you, Chris. Sean Spears then threatened the waiter. He smashed the bottle. Tully Blanchard then threw money and said, hey, that should cover it. Fucking love the Pinnacle. MJF said, if you do Stadium Stampede, it will be your last match because when you're in the Pinnacle, you're always on top. So, afterwards, we had Rebel, not Reba, versus Hikaru Shida. Shida actually put on her own glove, mocking Britt Baker. Baker then caused a distraction. Rebel hit Shida with the crutch. Shida then slapped Rebel, or stretched Rebel's knee. And she hit a stretch muffler for the tap-out win. Shida won. Afterwards, Britt Baker then attacked Shida. Curb stomp on the belt, and Baker stood tall. That was pretty much that. This was nothing more than an enhancement match for Hikaru Shida. Typical enhancement match, really nothing crazy, but I will say that curb stomp on the title, looked great. That curb stomp on the title looked excellent. Very, very interested to see what happens at Double or Nothing. Very, very interested to see the match that Baker and Shida produce, and Baker is winning that championship. Don Callis, that is, and Kenny Omega, they tried to bribe Orange Cassidy into backing out of Double or Nothing. Omega says, this is EVP speaking to you. What happens when I hit you with the one-winged angel? I could end your life. So, they gave Orange Cassidy a contract. Cassidy didn't even look in their direction. He looked away and just slowly ripped the contract. Orange Cassidy with the slowest paper tear ever. So they gave him a second contract and it said, just think about it. Just think about it. So obviously, they're trying to bribe Orange Cassidy to not show up at Double or Nothing, but he's going to show up at Double or Nothing, obviously. Inner Circle came out. Another very good promo. Inner Circle came out. They were going to address the Pinnacle's challenge. Sammy said, this is never going to end. You guys are a bunch of clowns. Hager said, if we don't accept, we're just like them. Jericho said, what I heard loud and clear is their challenge. Is it worth it? I'll never be the same again because of MJF. Max, you hurt me. You put my family through hell. Was it worth it? You damn right it was. Our answer for the challenge is 1000% yes. If we can't beat the Pinnacle, we don't deserve to be together, but that's not going to happen because we're still alive. We're coming for you, Pinnacle, and we're going to dance all over your face and piss all over your grave. Very, very nice promo. Very, very interested to see what the Stadium Stampede produces. It is definitely going to be a very interesting scenario. Red Velvet. Red Velvet versus Serena Deeb. This was for the NWA Women's World Championship. This was very, very, very good. Perhaps the match of the night for many individuals. Very, very, very good stuff. Red Velvet, I am telling you, I love how far Red Velvet has come. Red Velvet is excellent at what she does. Red Velvet is someone that I did not see anything in. I did not see anything in Red Velvet. Red Velvet just came in as a complete jobber. Red Velvet came in as just an enhancement talent, and she has grown and progressed leaps and bounds. Red Velvet is very, very good. Her size may deceive you, but she can fucking go in the ring. And this was a very good women's match. Definitely one of the best matches of her career. Probably the best match in her AEW career thus far. So Deeb kept the aggression on Red Velvet. Red Velvet then brought the aggression back to her. Deeb with a dragon screw. Velvet came back with a crossbody. She came back with some double knees. Moonsault press for a 2. We had a moonsault off the apron and a tornado kick for a 2. We had some back and forth counters. Roll up by Red Velvet for a 2. We had a choke slam by Red Velvet. She went for a top rope moonsault, but Deeb got the knees up. Powerbomb by Deeb, but Velvet still kicked out. Deeb then with the Serenity Lock, she got it locked in deep. She got it locked in deep. But, Velvet did not tap. She rolled her up. Deeb kicked out. Deeb hit a chop block. Serenity Lock again. She smashed the knee into the mat, and Red Velvet tapped out. And Deeb retains the NWA Women's World Championship in a very good match against Red Velvet. Very good stuff right here from both women. I absolutely love what these two women did right here. Austin Gunn versus Anthony Ogogo. Austin Gunn tried to use his swiftness against Ogogo, but instead Ogogo hit a gut punch. He punched him in the gut again. Austin Gunn was busted open from the mouth. He did not go down, and then Anthony Ogogo hit a pop-up right hand. Gunn was knocked out, and that was pretty much that. Ogogo showed absolutely fucking nothing. And I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to say this again. They better know what the fuck they are doing with Anthony Ogogo. Because if they don't, I'm telling you right now, this is not going to end well at all. They better know what the fuck they're doing with Anthony Ogogo, because if they don't, I am telling you right now, this is not going to end well for anybody. This is not going to end well for anyone. Anthony Ogogo has shown absolutely fucking nothing. He has shown absolutely fucking nothing as to why he deserves to be in this position with someone like Cody. He has shown nothing. Nothing at all. You can't tell me, you really can't tell me that Anthony Ogogo deserves to be in this position when all he's done is a plethora of gut punches and a pop-up right hand. You're not going to sit there and tell me that Anthony fucking Ogogo is anything to invest your time in when we haven't seen jack shit from him. Anthony Ogogo does not deserve to be in this position. He doesn't. He absolutely fucking doesn't. Now, we could be wrong. We could be wrong. And you know what? I hope I am. I hope that Anthony Ogogo goes into Double or Nothing, and I hope he fucking steals the show. I hope he fucking takes the world by the balls, and I hope that he impresses everyone. But you can't tell me that he looks impressive here when all he's done is a fucking punch to the gut and a pop-up right hand. Now, the pop-up right hand looked good, but outside of that, what the fuck has he shown? Cody's promo was great. Cody's promo that he cut on Anthony Ogogo was excellent. It was excellent. He made it feel more important than it really was, but you're not going to tell me that Anthony Ogogo is ready for this spot. What has he done to prove that he is ready for this spot? Anthony Ogogo is not ready. If you think he's ready, and if you think that it's the right decision to put Anthony Ogogo in this spot this early, you are absolutely fucking retarded. Say it once and I'll say it again. Don't be a fucking retard. Don't be a fucking retard. Just like people that think Christian Cage winning the Battle Royal at Double or Nothing is a good idea. Christian Cage, if he wins the Battle Royal, bad idea. He's going to be forced down our throats. You cannot give Christian Cage the win at Double or Nothing. And you can't put a guy like Anthony Ogogo, who clearly is not ready, in a spot in which he clearly has no experience in. So, moving on, we're gonna move on to the back and forth we had between Miro and Lance Archer. Now this was very, 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 very good. Miro and Lance Archer in 3 minutes. All it took was 3 minutes, and they sold this match. So Miro came out to address the crowd. He says, first and foremost, I want to thank Jesus Christ for protecting me and also giving me strength to destroy everyone. If you have what I want, it's done. Nobody's going to stop me. And next week, somebody's going to get an opportunity for my TNT title. And then all of a sudden, Archer came out. He said, Miro, shut the hell up. 1 year ago, Cody and I fought for the first ever TNT championship. And from one big bad son of a bitch to another, I can't wait to beat you up, drop you on your bald head, and make you my Bulgarian bitch. Miro said, oh, that really hurt. You know, you got the old man to hold you back. And then he said, yeah, hold him back, old man. But I'm going to tell you, if you get close to me, there's not going to be enough yoga in the world to help you if you come close to me. I'll tell you that. You say everyone dies, well, I'll make sure that you be first. This went 3 minutes, and in 3 minutes, they sold me. They completely sold their fucking match within 3 fucking minutes. They sold their match within 3 minutes. It's great. They sold their match within 3 minutes. And again, like I've been saying, this is what I'm telling you. This is what happens when you don't overly script your talent. You just allow 2 guys to go out there, tell them to hit certain bullet points, tell them to talk about this, and this, and then, boom, you have them go out there, just come off in a natural tone. And look at what we get. We got a great back and forth between Miro and Lance Archer. How can you hate that? It helps. Let them go out there and let them do what they need to do to get over. There's absolutely no reason why you need to overly script, overproduce, and micromanage every single person right down to the way that they fucking breathe on camera. Let them do what they need to do. Let them go out there and get themselves over. It ain't that hard. It really ain't that hard. Next week is Friday Night Dynamite. We actually got a fairly stacked show. We got Miro versus Dante Martin. That's for the TNT Championship. We also got Joey Janela versus Adam Page. We got Darby Allin versus Cesar Bononi. Inner Circle's Greatest Moments celebration. We got the Dark Order versus Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. And then we got Anthony Ogogo and Cody having their weigh-in next week. Main event was the Varsity Blondes versus the Young Bucks. This was for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Very good match for the 10 minutes that it was. Varsity Blondes, they looked great. They were in control early. We had an axe handle to Pillman, though, as the Bucks took over. Pillman tagged in Garrison. Garrison with some stinger splashes and a double spear. Big plancha over the top, taking them out. Flying clothesline on Matt for a 2. We had a super kick to Pillman. Nick then saved the match. Nick Jackson was sprayed, or Nick sprayed the air salt into Pillman's face. We had a super kick to Garrison. Rick Knox then took the can out of Matt's hands. We had another can given to him. Julia Hart, the mascot, the cheerleader of the Varsity Blondes, she got sprayed with the air salt. Sharpshooter facebuster combination, moonsault to Garrison. Pillman tapped out. Afterwards, Moxley and Kingston then came out, and we got a big brawl. Double sleeper holds, and the Bucks passed out, and then Eddie Kingston stole the Young Bucks' shoes, which was very, very funny. And we got more build towards Double or Nothing. It is going to be a very, very, very interesting Sunday, and I'm very, very intrigued to see what we get between Eddie Kingston and the Bucks at Double or Nothing. And that was AEW Dynamite. Very, very, very good show. We are going to continue on. We're going to focus on NXT UK. NXT UK, which was actually a fairly good show. It's a fairly good show, don't get me wrong. NXT UK is a fairly good show, but I just hate the fact that they're operating with no fans. I hate the fact that they're operating with no fans, and it's really hard to get invested when they're not doing takeovers, because I feel like these weekly shows don't mean anything if you don't have these special events. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. So, NXT UK started off with a match between Rampage Brown and Wolfgang. Solid match for what it was. These two went back and forth, strike for strike. Wolfgang was in control with a nice backbreaker for a 2. He wore down Rampage Brown before Brown got dropped as Wolfgang hit a splash to the back. Brown then came back with a Samoan drop. Wolfgang with a spear for a 2. Brown hit Wolfgang with a knee, big lariat, and a Doctor Bomb for the win. Nice, solid match between Rampage Brown and Wolfgang. So Rampage Brown and Joe Coffey, they're actually facing off in 2 weeks. We had a promo package for Eva Valkyrie. I like to believe that they're looking to capitalize on her when fans come back, which is why she lost to Meiko Satomura, because Meiko Satomura is going to be the individual that is going to beat Kaylee Ray, and then they're probably going to capitalize on Miss Valkyrie by giving her the Women's Championship when fans do come back. Amale versus Xia Brookside. Brookside and Amale had a decent little match right here, decent little women's match. She was using her quickness in the beginning. Amale then sent Brookside into the barricade. She tried to keep the aggression on Brookside before Brookside came back with a neck breaker for a 2. We had a Northern Lights suplex by Amale for a 2. Amale with a leg trap spine buster for the win. So, interesting way to finish off the match right there for Amale. Amale actually got the win clean. A leg trap spine buster and Amale won clean. So, I did not mind that whatsoever. So, I hope that Amale is going to be showcased a little bit more here on the NXT UK brand. Supernova 11 sessions. Supernova 11 sessions with Noam Dar. He introduced Ilya Dragunov. He had spa sounds playing in the background, and he put on a spa robe. He gave Dragunov a dinosaur robe. He then called him a Rageosaurus Rex, which I actually laughed at, I'm not lying. Dragunov then said, "I feel this pain weeks after my loss to Walter, but I'm not that person anymore." Dar then brought Dragunov a therapy plush dog. He says, "He's a very good boy, unlike you." Dragunov then said, "My position is violence. But if you invite me here to try and trigger me, I can hurt you very, very bad." Dar said, "I see that scared little boy deep down. Call me a clown, you're the clown. Play that funky music. That was pretty much that. And also in 2 weeks, we got Noam Dar versus Ilya Dragunov. So they're setting up an interesting show for 2 weeks. Rampage Brown and Joe Coffey and Noam Dar versus Ilya Dragunov. And then in the main event, we had A-Kid versus Tyler Bate. This was for the Heritage Cup. This was a very, very good, very, very, very good match right here. Pro wrestling at its finest. Tyler Bate and A-Kid are very, very good pro wrestlers. I really, really love what they do in the ring. Very much liking what they are producing in the ring together. They just gel very well together. And I really like what A-Kid has been putting forth. I really do. So A-Kid versus Tyler Bate, NXT UK Heritage Cup. Very, very technical in the first round. Same thing with the second round. Very evenly matched. We had some swift reversals in the third round. Bate with some swift strikes. Both men then crashed over the top rope. Third round ends with no falls. So this was a slow build. This was a very slow build. A-Kid then with an up kick and a fisherman suplex for a 2. Tyler Bate with a deadlift into the airplane spin. A-Kid then countered with a rear naked choke and a running kick, but Bate still kicked out. Bate then broke another chokehold. A-Kid with the guillotine chokehold, but Bate with the deadlift brainbuster. Round 4 ends, and we are still at 0-0. Remember, this is British rounds rules. This is first man to gain pinfall submission or 2 out of 3 falls is the winner. Tyler Bate, he then hit a German suplex in the 5th round. The Tyler driver connected, but A-Kid still kicked out. A-Kid then looked for the armbar, and he extended the arm back with his leg. But still, Tyler Bate did not tap out, and the 5th round ends. We go into the 6th round. Bate with a handspring lariat. A-Kid reversed the Tyler driver, rolled him up for a 2. Back and forth counters. Tyler Bate rolled up A-Kid, a very tight roll-up. 1, 2, 3. Tyler Bate scores the only fall. Tyler Bate wins the Heritage Cup. And now Tyler Bate is holding that Heritage Cup. And I think that now what they're going to do, considering Tyler Bate is now the Heritage Cup winner, I do believe that they're going to use Tyler Bate to build up someone new. Possibly someone like a Rampage Brown, maybe a Joe Coffey. Maybe we see Nathan Frazer in action. Maybe they're building up Nathan Frazer. Nathan Frazer is going to be put in a scenario where he's going to fight Tyler Bate. And we could see Nathan Frazer versus Tyler Bate for the NXT UK Heritage Cup Championship. And we could see Nathan Frazer win the Heritage Cup. Would not mind seeing that at all. But good show. Good show for NXT UK. Good show for NXT UK. Danielle, you're telling me, I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. YouTube has a major vendetta against me. We go from 23 to 16. YouTube, you gotta sort this shit out. Here's what you can do, Danielle. You can go tweet at YouTube creators on Twitter. Tell them fix the YouTube problems. The views go down and the likes go down. We need to fix that. We really do. But this match was pro wrestling at its finest. Really, really good stuff from A-Kid and Tyler Bate. Even though the British rounds rules, it seems kind of outdated. This still was a very good match. Solid NXT UK show, but there's just no buzz around it considering that, well, they're lacking fans, number one. And number two, the fact that there's just no takeovers. And it really does go to show you how piss poor the UK really is in terms of COVID, even though it's really not that serious to begin with. But regardless of that, we are going to continue on YouTube, regardless of the personal vendetta against me. This is still the Lightning Flash update, and I am still fantastic at my job. Everybody wants a piece of the Storms Meister, and we are going to get into SmackDown. And SmackDown, I'm not going to lie. Most of the time, SmackDown is very, very, very lackluster. A show where there's really no reason to watch outside of Roman, but SmackDown wasn't a bad show. I'm not gonna sit here and just shit all over SmackDown because overall, it wasn't a bad show. It really wasn't that bad of a show. We did get a lot of decent material. We did get some storyline progression and some build towards future matches that we could be very much interested in. So I did not mind this whatsoever. It was a fairly decent show. So Sonya Deville welcomed everyone to SmackDown. She announced the news of WWE going out on tour again, and we all know why. It's because of AEW. She introduced all the champions, the Mysterios, Natty and Tamina, Bianca Belair, and Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews took the mic, and he says, I will be retaining my title. One by one, they will all fall, and I will be victorious. So she finally introduced Roman. His old theme music played, but Roman didn't come out. Paul Heyman came out. And Paul Heyman said, how nice, a parade of title holders. Roman Reigns is not a title holder. Roman Reigns is the champion, the preeminent champion in all of sports entertainment. And later tonight, there will be a parade of champion at Roman Reigns' leisure. Thank you very much. So he left. Heyman's great. Afterwards, Bayley came out, took the mic, and she was like, hold up. You didn't acknowledge me? You should be thanking me for putting this company on my back. She then ran down everyone on the ramp. She called Bianca a cheater. She called her ponytail stupid. She said she should be stripped of her title because she is a criminal. Bianca then came down to the ring and she said, come and take it, before Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax attacked. Natty and Tamina then came out, but they were neutralized, and lo and behold, we get a 6-woman tag. The segment to open the show, it wasn't even that bad. And then Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax showed up. Why are they still a team? Why are the women's tag team titles still a thing? And why does this women's division suck so bad? Why does this division suck so bad? It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable how bad the women's division is. It's unbelievable how bad the creative writing is. It's unbelievable. It really is. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm losing words in the English dictionary to say, because I feel like I've said everything I could possibly say in terms of how bad the show really is. I don't know what else I could say. I really don't. I don't know what else I could say. I don't. So how shocking. We get a 6-woman tag. Tamina, Natalya, and Bianca Belair versus Bayley, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler. Bianca tweaked her knee coming off the top with a crossbody. Coming back from commercial, Bayley isolated Belair before Tamina got the tag. Super kick, but Bayley grabbed the bottom rope. Baszler then tagged in. Everyone started taking out everyone. We had a Karafuda clutch, and Natalya tapped out. So what happens? There's no women's tag team division. So what do? You have Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax beat the tag team champions in a non-title match, and now we get a rematch on Monday Night Raw, where I'm 1,000% sure Alexa Bliss is going to get involved, and Shayna Baszler is going to take another pinfall loss. How shocking. Lazy fucking booking. Lazy booking. The women's division sucks, but yet Mick Foley wants a all-women's brand. The guy is a fucking retard to epic proportions. I mean, he's a fucking Democrat. I mean, that's another story for another time. But you know, Democrats are retards in their own right. I mean, you may as well put the word Democrat next to the word retard in the Oxford Dictionary. But regardless of that, Mick Foley's a fucking retard in terms of pro wrestling as well. He's an idiot. He's an idiot, and so is anyone that agrees with the guy. Aleister Black, he read chapter 4 of his book, and it was entitled Beautiful Pain. He points out his tattoos. He sounded like he was talking in riddles. And he says that it's time for me to separate the weak from the strong, and it's time to call the herd. This was excellent. I love the way that he's been articulating. I don't know who's writing these promos. I'm not sure who's writing these segments. I'm not sure if it's Bruce Pritchard. I doubt it. I'm not sure if it's one of the members of the creative team. I'm not sure if it's Aleister Black himself, but the way that Aleister Black is just coming off, it's really, really good. He's coming off genuine. He's coming off real. He's coming off intense. And the more that this happens, the more I'm intrigued into what he's going to do next. This is what Aleister Black needs, the way that he's just coming off. He's coming off like he was meant to play this role, whatever this role may be. And now that he's debuted, he's clearly a heel. And it's an interesting scenario because he's separating the weak from the strong, so the people that he's going to target, he's weeding out the weak people, and one by one he's going to take out the weak until he gets to the top and he's the strongest. He's calling the herd. I like it. I really like what they're doing. It's very, very, very creative. It really is. I can't believe I'm saying that. I don't know who's writing them, but whoever's writing these promos deserves a round of applause. However, I'm not going to get too excited about it, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm not getting too excited about it because whenever we get invested, whenever we connect, whenever we become attached to something in the WWE on the main roster, Vince McMahon always manages to pull the fucking plug on it. Vince McMahon always manages to pull the fucking plug on it, and Vince McMahon just kills it. Look what happened with the Hurt Business. That's why I'm not getting too attached to RK Bro. I am not going to believe that Aleister Black is going to be in line for a big push until I actually see them push Aleister Black and I see him win a championship. I'm not going to get attached, and I'm not going to have any faith in WWE that they're going to do right by Aleister Black until I actually see it happen. With this company, seeing is believing. So at the end of the day, look, I'm going to praise this, and I'm very much interested in this, but I'm not getting too attached to it because Vince McMahon can pull the plug like that, just like he did with the Hurt Business. He just woke up one morning and decided to break up the Hurt Business. He can pull the plug on Aleister Black at any given moment. I hope he doesn't. I hope I'm proven wrong. King Corbin, or Baron Corbin, because he ain't no fucking king, Taco Bell Chalupa Corbin, White Castle Corbin, KFC Steak Fries Corbin, McDonald's McGriddle Corbin, Pizza Hut Breadstick Corbin. He came out, he took the mic, and they ran back what happened last week with Nakamura taking the crown from Corbin. And he said that was the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen. Nakamura is no king, and I'm going to beat Shinsuke Nakamura, take back my crown, and put it on the true king of WWE. All of a sudden, Rick Boogs, a.k.a. Eric Bugenhagen from NXT. If you remember Eric Bugenhagen, he got taken out by Drew Gulak all the way back in the beginning of 2019 before WrestleMania. Rick Bugenhagen, he was shredding on a guitar, and he says, "My name is Rick Boogs, Boogs, and I am here to rock out with the real King of SmackDown, Shinsuke Nakamura." And he just screamed at the top of his lungs. He screamed at the top of his lungs as if he's at a rock concert. He's like, "Let's rock!" As if he's as if he's Angus Young from AC/DC. He channeled his inner AC/DC going, yeah! And he just starts shredding on the guitar, playing Nakamura's theme song, and Shinsuke Nakamura comes out, doing his thing in the crowd. Then you got Pat McAfee doing air guitar right over Michael Cole's head. This was fucking amazing. This was legitimately amazing. And I'm thinking to myself, that this went on for about 45 to 60 seconds. And in the 45 to 60 seconds that this was, I was thinking to myself, this needs to be a permanent thing. This needs to be a permanent thing. In those 45 to 60 seconds that we saw Rick Boogs playing in Nakamura's theme song on his guitar, Shinsuke Nakamura felt like Shinsuke Nakamura. He felt like a big deal. This needs to be a permanent thing going forward every week. Every time Shinsuke Nakamura is on television, you have Rick Boogs play in Nakamura every week on his fucking guitar. And I'm going to tell you why. This needs to be a permanent thing because now that you got live fans coming back, this could very well rejuvenate Shinsuke Nakamura's career. This could legitimately rejuvenate Shinsuke Nakamura's career. Out of everything that they've done, Shinsuke hasn't felt like Shinsuke ever since he lost the NXT Championship and they brought him up to NXT. Ever since he lost to Jinder Mahal. Shinsuke has not felt like himself. He hasn't. Now that you got Rick Boogs on the main roster and you pair him with Shinsuke Nakamura, if you paired these two together and this was done week after week on television in front of a live audience, can you imagine how over it would be having Rick Boogs play Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song on his guitar, having the crowd sing along to his theme song? You could legitimately make Shinsuke Nakamura a top-tier babyface on SmackDown with Rick Boogs as his musical advocate. This needs to be a permanent thing going forward. And above all else, WWE needs something. They fucking need something. They need something. They need something of substance other than Roman Reigns to fall back on. Roman Reigns has been the one true constant throughout WWE for 9 straight months. For 9 straight months, Roman Reigns has been the only consistent thing that we've been able to invest in. There is nothing. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't give a shit what you've done. At the end of the day, I'm right, you are wrong. Shut your mouth and listen. There is nothing at all on Raw or SmackDown that has been as consistent as Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the only thing that is worth investing your time in as far as the main roster WWE product goes. They are in need of something other because you can't constantly fall back on Roman. You need more than just one guy. You need more than just one thing to run a show and put out a weekly television program. You need the overall show to be must-see. You need multiple aspects of the show. You need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 aspects of the show to be interesting. Why do you think people praise AEW so much? Because we got multiple aspects of the show that are worth investing your time in. A great women's match, an AEW World Tag Team title match, a great promo with Lance Archer and Miro, a great segment with the Inner Circle. You got multiple things that we can invest our time in. You don't have that on Raw or SmackDown. Raw doesn't have anything, and all SmackDown has is Roman Reigns. This needs to be a permanent thing going forward. Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura could be the most over fucking thing on SmackDown if done right. If done right and if given the opportunity, Rick Boogs as Shinsuke's musical advocate, that could very well propel Shinsuke Nakamura into the main event scene to a point where they may have no choice but to push Shinsuke Nakamura because of fan reaction. It happened with fucking Tamina Snuka. Why not Shinsuke Nakamura? It could very well happen to Shinsuke Nakamura, and Shinsuke Nakamura could beat Roman for the fucking Universal title. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But this was amazing. This was fucking amazing. Rick Boogs. It's great. Amazing. Shinsuke Nakamura and Baron Corbin, this was a decent little match, and Shinsuke got the win. I don't know where this is going. I hope that Rick Boogs and Nakamura are a permanent pairing going forward, but I expect Baron Corbin to get his win back, and he's going to win this feud, because Shinsuke Nakamura, he was said that he's going to be putting over talent for the next couple years in his contract. Who knows? So, we then had Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Paul Heyman coming out. Paul Heyman handed Roman the microphone. He says, I take every opportunity I can to teach myself about humility. I'll take this opportunity to allow my special counsel to celebrate. So Heyman took the mic. He says, I have a moment to acknowledge your tribal chief who scared the Fiend over to Raw, KO'd Kevin Owens, baptized his own cousin back into the championship bloodline. Your champion Roman Reigns beat Cesaro with no one's help at Cesaro's own game. It's my honor to acknowledge the preeminent champion of all sports entertainment, Roman Reigns. Roman said, bring out my cousin, Cesaro. Cesaro then came out, not his cousin Jimmy. And he says, I couldn't find Seth Rollins, but I heard this yapping in my ear. I'll fight you with one arm. How about we do this one more time at Hell in a Cell? And then Seth Rollins attacked Cesaro one more time. He focused on the injured arm. Officials then sent Rollins to the back. Rollins then came back out, hit the stomp on Cesaro, and then he was sent away again. Rollins then hopped over the barricade a second time and hit a second stomp on Cesaro, looking fucking crazy-eyed. Rollins then got in Cesaro's face as Cesaro was being taken away on a gurney, and he screamed, why do you make me this person? When are you gonna learn? So it looks like Cesaro is not going to be facing Roman at Hell in a Cell. And listen, I want to have faith in Cesaro. I really do. I really want to have faith that they're going to push the guy. But I just don't. I just really don't. It's very, very hard for me to invest in that. As a matter of fact, he's done in the world title scene. He's done. He's absolutely done as far as the world championship goes. He's done. He's done. Rollins is going to be facing Cesaro at Hell in a Cell. Cesaro was nothing more than a bridge for Roman Reigns to get through Backlash to get to Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso is going to be Roman Reigns' program through June and July, and then Cesaro, now he's being used as a bridge to get Rollins to Roman. So Roman's going to go from Cesaro, now he's going to Jimmy Uso, and then we're going to get Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, because they've been teasing that. They've been teasing that for the last couple of weeks now. So at the end of the day, Cesaro is nothing more than a bridge. And I'd like to hope that they'll possibly give Cesaro the Intercontinental title based on what happened in the main event. Because Big E's out of the picture. It seems as though they may be moving on to Kevin Owens versus Apollo Crews. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I'm sorry. Cesaro's done in the world title scene. He's done. Cesaro is done as far as the World Championship title scene goes. It's a shame, but he's done. Robert Roode versus Dominic Mysterio. Roode trash-talked Mysterio before the match. This went about 3 minutes. Roode went right after Dominic. He kept the aggression on him. Dominic came back with a crossbody for a 2. Dominic got rolled up, but he kicked out. Dominic hit the 619 and a frog splash for the win. And that was that. So it seems as though, based on this, seems as though Roode and Ziggler are done as far as the tag team titles go. Seems as though they are done. Next week, we got the Street Profits and the Usos. I can absolutely see the Street Profits beating the Usos, and the Usos are done for the time being. And we're going to get Jimmy Uso versus Roman Reigns at Hell in a Cell. with the Street Profits going on to challenge Rey and Dominic Mysterio at Hell in a Cell, which I have no problem with, because the Usos, obviously, they're going to be the ones to take the titles off of the Mysterios, but that's not going to happen until SummerSlam. But in the meantime, you need to build up challengers. So, the right challengers would be the Street Profits. Then we'll probably get a match with Otis and Gable versus the Mysterios at Money in the Bank. And then the Usos are going to face off against the Mysterios at SummerSlam, with the Usos walking away as the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So I got no problem with this. Street Profits get the win over the Usos. They go face the Mysterios. I think it's going to be a great tag team match. And I actually like the fact that they're booking Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler to lose to Rey and Dominic. They're done. And Rey and Dominic are being booked like legit babyfaces. Strong babyfaces. Because the stronger that they're booked, then when the Usos beat the Mysterios, it's going to come off even better. Apollo Crews and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and Big E. This was a fatal four-way match for the Intercontinental Championship. This was the main event. And this was excellent. And the fact that this was not on the pay-per-view, the fact that this was not on the show, this could have brought the show up a notch from a good show to a very good show at WrestleMania Backlash. You could have brought Backlash up from a 6 out of 10 to a 7 out of 10 or a 7.5 out of 10. But no, instead you put Damian Priest and The Miz in a zombie lumberjack match out on the show, and The Miz got fucking hurt for nothing. Instead, you could have put these four guys on the show, and they could have stole the fucking show. Unbelievable. But this was an excellent main event. These four guys did the Intercontinental title very, very well. Big E hit a double apron splash to Sami and Cruz. Owens then with a tope con hilo, taking out Big E. Coming back from commercial, Cruz was in control with a standing moonsault off the apron to Big E. Sami with a moonsault of his own off the barricade to Cruz. Owens then took out Sami with a swanton, but Big E saved it. Owens then took out Big E. German suplex barrage by Cruz to Big E. Owens got dropped with a Michinoku driver by Sami for a 2. Owens with a Fisherman Brainbuster off the top for a very close 2 count. We had Cruz hoisting Owens up on his shoulders and hitting a Death Valley driver on the apron. Big E with a spear through the ropes coming back from commercial. Big E then with some belly-to-bellies to everyone. A haluva kick by Zayn to Big E. Owens then with a knee drop brainbuster for a very close 2 count. Owens then went to the top. Cruz cut him off. Big E with a German suplex to Cruz, tossing Zayn as well. Owens from the heavens with a frog splash, but Big E kicked out. Owens then with some cannonballs to everyone. Zayn with a half-and-half suplex and a beautiful Blue Thunder bomb. But Big E was out and Cruz was out. Sami thought he had the title won, but Owens kicked out. Super kick to Zayn. Super kick to Big E. We had a pop-up powerbomb by Owens on Cruz for a close 2. Sami was then sent to the floor. Half-and-half suplex to Owens on the floor. Sami was taken out. Big E with the big ending, but Commander Aziz saved it. And then he got sent into the post by Big E. Big E was going to go after Apollo Crews to win the title, but the lights go out. Smoke was on the apron, and then out of nowhere, Aleister Black comes out from the smoke, hits the Black Mass on Big E. Crews pins Big E and retains the title. Crews retains the title, rightfully so. Aleister Black is targeting Big E, and this is a very, very, very good opening program for Aleister Black as he's facing Big E. It's good. You build him up. And I would like to believe that this is going to open up the door for Crews to feud with Owens. Owens and Crews at Hell in a Cell. We're going to get Black and Big E at Hell in a Cell. Then Cesaro's going to slide in, and after he's done with Rollins, he's going to fight Crews for the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam, and hopefully, I'd like to believe that Cesaro's going to win the Intercontinental title, and then by the end of the year, Aleister Black is going to get built up to fight Cesaro for the Intercontinental title. This was an excellent main event, and this should have been on the pay-per-view. This should have been at the pay-per-view with Aleister Black returning at the pay-per-view, and he should have cost Big E. Cruz should have retained the title. This was awesome. Excellent main event, pay-per-view worthy. Cruz retains the title, rightfully so. Right outcome. Now we get Big E and Black, and we are going to see some rather interesting material heading into the summer. Ladies and gents, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. You guys did awesome as per usual. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, Peanuts. Thank you, David Maniscalco, Adam Carl, Cool King, a.k.a. Rob Wells Jr. Thank you, Furious Nation, as well. Thank you, Matt Moody, for coming by as well. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. Check out the Rewind for WrestleMania Backlash. Links in the description. We got the roundtable for AEW Double or Nothing that is going to be on Wednesday. AEW Double or Nothing predictions with Top Rope Squishy, and then the rundown for AEW Double or Nothing with Kyle Deemer and Abicki. That's going to be next Friday. I will keep you guys updated on everything. Follow me on my social medias to keep track. I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update, and I will catch you next week. You guys have an awesome weekend.